Okay, so here it is. Trill's journal. Had multiple interesting encounters today. I made it back to Galahall's from the city of Salt Cliff, and some rather interesting news occurred. Apparently, Freecliff Market is now, once again, part of Salt Cliff, against the better judgment of literally everyone in the town. Galahall and I had a little bit of a conversation about that, but then we encountered a group of people who apparently Galahall had worked with before to grant entry. Rather interesting group, and apparently, over the last couple of days, they have been rushing here rather quickly. One in particular mentioned that they had been attacked by badgers along the road. Interesting. But I introduced myself, they introduced themselves to me, some situations were cleared up, and one of the members, a gnomish fellow by the name of Dr. Ulysses, apparently is missing a leg, so he might need to go to Hentry to get a prosthetic. Also, one Ambrosia Blackwell. Need to have a conversation with her about the makers of her last name. Apparently, they have the money to get into Saltcliffe and are heading towards the tavern in which I reside. I hope to see them soon. And there we go.
Nice.
All right.
Ambrosia, we fought more badgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. Heard it didn't go well with Silence.
Yeah.
Right. So, specifically where we left off, you were entering into the Salt Lick. As you step inside, a soft, warm glow emanates from different parts of the room. A bare rug is spread out on the floor, and a few tables, made to be of what seem driftwood, scatter across throughout the rest of the room. It's fairly large, comparatively to what it looks like on the outside. And a large wooden counter lines just near the door where you enter in, with kegs in the back. You see a man and woman behind the bar, both with a darker skin, the woman with dark black hair and tight curls that is kind of like tied under a headband of sorts, while the man, he's got long graying hair that goes down to his waist and a short, nicely trimmed beard. Both of them kind of just cleaning the counter, while a few other patrons in the back at one of the round tables are enjoying their drink.
And I would also say, probably at this point, I've made it there.
Yes, from back behind the counter, you see.
Behind the counter, you see a couple. You see a couple of ears.
Yeah, coming from the back, where you can only assume the kitchen is, where you where Silas, you were led back there before. On the far, another important detail, on the far end of the room, there is a set of stairs.
All right.
The two people at the bar kind of look up to you and nod. And, however, specifically you see the man you would recognize as Charlie would look at you, Silas, with a little bit of confusion.
Silas is a mouse.
Oh, right, you're a mouse. Never mind.
Silas is a mouse in Brand Satchel.
Yes.
You are a
Ambrosia,
mouse. They do not
very
know who
angry.
you are.
Ambrosia is like face down, like nose in a book, like scribbling something. She looks up for a second and sees if there's any tables free, and then she's going to look at Bran and just say, "Brand, your satchel for a minute. I need to see it. I'm very close on a breakthrough right here. I just need 5 minutes, please. Just can I see your satchel?"
Brian's like, oh, yes, and he takes it off his shoulder and
Be
hands it to
careful
you.
there.
She'll
It's
take
kind of
it
heavy,
and-
but
yeah, she'll. It's not. It's a little bit of a struggle to hold it, but she'll walk over to any empty table and kind of gently
Yeah,
place it
so
on the.
there's 4 tables that are free in this room. 3 of them are more of your standard rectangular table, and then there's 1 large round table in the back.
She'll go to the one in the back, and she'll gently set the satchel down, and like open the flap to where she knows Silas is in, so Silas can come out if she wants. But then she'll set down her book and spread out a bunch of notes, and then all of last session when I wasn't here, said that she might have been doing like research on that symbol. Is there any way I could like see if it's connected to anything that I would know, or connected to any kind of cults that I might have learned about in my religious classes or anything like that?
Go ahead and make me a, I guess, religion check?
I'll also say that upon seeing all you guys, Trill pops up from behind the counter, kind of like Dukes of Hazzards it slightly, and then walks over to you.
It's a 12 for me.
Oh wait, Boofer is there though. Boofer is with the group.
Yes, Boofer's with the group.
Boofer's just probably following Brand.
Sorry, guys. You're gonna have to say that one more time. I'm getting distracted by this dog that's walked into this tavern.
It's a 12 for me.
12, right. So while you haven't specifically found anything that ties to a direct entity or entities, you know without a shadow of a doubt that these symbols are connected to the one of the layers of the abyss. You're not sure which one, but you know that now that there is a specific layer that it is attuned to, and it is a very unique magical composition compared to other abyssal language, parts of the abyssal language. This is very specifically its own thing, separated from the abyssal lexicon. Its single purpose is from... It's hard to explain. You know this is to be its own unique identifier that is not like known or aligned to any known demon prince or demon from the abyss. All you know is that it is the abyss.
So it's definitely not good.
It's definitely not good. But there's nothing in your books or religious texts that tells you it is of a specific demon lord or prince or higher ranking demon at all.
Gotcha. So Ambrosia is going to kind of take her hat off and place it on the table and just go, God, this is so confusing. Ugh. And she'll put all of her notes back in place and then kind of take her wand out and gently lift the satchel lid and see if Silas is still in there.
Silas is definitely still in the satchel.
She'll just be like, you're free to come out, you know. I kind of took you away from them so I'd have some alone time, but probably not that great of smells in there, I would assume.
Silas, at this point, is going to come out from wherever she was, like, whatever crevice she was hiding in, and, like, just kind of walk out onto the table and look up at Ambrosia.
Ambrosia will take a small piece of bread out and put it on the table and be like, I apologize for not intervening in that battle. I've been trying to crack this and see if it's something we could use against the church and something we could possibly rally the people against, but it's on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't figure it out completely.
She'll take the bread in her like little paws, I guess, and like almost like impersonating a human, try to like walk on her back feet over to the where the notes are. Are they're still on the table?
Yeah,
Or did you-
they're
okay.
they're in a pile, and she's closed her book, but they're all still on the table.
Don't know why I clicked show to player, but
After a little bit, Ambrosia will just say, if you'd like, you can ride in my satchel or under my hat. It's a little cleaner under both. That's up to you. I get being the mouse, so there's no judgment, no pressure, but I can kind of tell you don't really want to be around the others, and especially not in the city.
Kind of, I don't know, she just kind of looks up at Ambrosia and then walks a little bit closer and almost gives what looks like a nod. It's hard to tell. She's pretty small right now.
Ambrosia will just kind of give a small nod as well, and scoop Silas up and put her on the top of her head, and then use the hat to cover it back up.
Heck yeah. Hat mouse.
Yeah. You do see under the hat is still that flower crown that Brett had given her, like almost a week
Aw.
past.
All those flowers are like rotting.
Oh
and,
yeah, they're dried out. She's made sure they haven't rotted, but they're like withered. She can't really bring them back to life. But they are
Sounds
just.
Can I use Druidcraft as a mouse? No, can I? No, I can't.
No, you
But I can
can't.
use Druidcraft on it.
Maybe.
But you'd have to.
I
unmorph.
have to be people again.
So as you guys are kind of having that conversation in the back, Ulysses kind of is distracted with a bunch of different like handfuls of junk that he's got in his finagling with, and he kind of looks up to all of you and says, "I think I have a breakthrough, but I'm gonna go work on it upstairs. It'll be really good though. It'll surprise one of you with a gift." And he is like, I want a room, please. And Charlie will be like, yeah, no problem. They exchange the necessary silver pieces, and Ulysses like runs upstairs with this bag you haven't really seen before, and a bunch of random tools.
He's an odd one, isn't he?
Yeah, he interesting type.
No. That was in character.
No, I know. That was Charlie.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to see you all made it. I take it the fees went relatively well.
Besides them taking our money, yes.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Bastards. Alright. So, I take it where the lady's sitting is where we're going to plan a little bit?
I suppose. I don't know if there are people listening, but if Ambrosia sees this location is fit, we shall do so.
Maybe not
Alright.
so openly.
That's probably smart. Let's go over there, see if we can find a better place for us to meet and exchange information.
Before Karryck goes over, he's gonna buy 3 rooms for Brand
And how many days would you like your room, sir?
I don't know how long were you saying? I'll just say a week. A week.
Karryck's voice changes. Like, I don't know.
A week.
That'll just be 1 gold piece, sir.
Alright, that's what I'll do. And then
Thank you. Alright, so everyone goes to sit around this large wooden table. Except for Ulysses.
He's at
Who is Scarlet?
Boofer is kind of laying at the feet of Brand at the moment. Under
Is
the
it alright
table.
if we sit here?
Ambrosia kind of gives a small nod and then sees Boofer laying on the ground. She'll pull another piece of like cheese from her rations and toss it to him as a treat.
He will greedily eat the cheese, and as you ask if you guys can sit there, Charlie's like, "Yep, all typical business. All tables are open." And he kind of looks over at the other patrons. He's like, "Can I
Is
get you
anyone-
folks anything else tonight, or are you quite finished? You seem to be a little washed there, Michael." And this guy's like, hogwash. Washed. Maybe. I should probably go home to the missus.
Yes.
Probably so, Michael.
Ambrosia will
Yes,
raise a hand.
you've already
and-
spent most of your gold of the day there. You might want to head home.
Oh, hush, Trill.
Yeah.
Stands
tongue
up and stumbles to the exit.
Ambrosia's gonna raise her hand and ask, "Do you have any wines? It really doesn't matter what, but
We do keep a small selection. It's a little more expensive, but we actually have just recently got an import from Centerholm from the Weinmeier.
I'll take a bottle of that if you don't mind."
A whole bottle. Oh,
Yes, please.
right. Coming right up. And he walks into the back, and you can hear some rustling around as he comes back and comes around the counter and over to you with this bottle with this red and gold label that with differing amounts of filigree around the title of Weinmeier Select. As he sets it on the table in front of you, that'll be 2 gold pieces.
She'll reach into her coin purse and pull out 2 gold pieces and hand them over and just go, "Thank you very much. I'll let you know if I need anything else."
No problem. And then he reaches into like this pouch that he has and pulls out a couple of like a few these. They're not fancy. They're just basic wine glasses that he sets in front of you and the rest of you.
Do I recognize this brand?
Yeah, absolutely. This is like the Weinmeier family in Centerholm is one of the largest, most profitable vineyards in Jericho. This is kind of the stuff that is standard among
the elites.
Yeah.
She'll pour herself a glass and then take a sip and then kind of like ruminate on it and just go, home, and then set the glass down.
Honestly, I've never spent that much for alcohol in my entire life. That's rather impressive. But we're not here to discuss that. We are
not at all.
here. We are here to. Why did I go Luna for a second? We're here to discuss our plans, if we have any.
Yeah, in the tavern.
Is it?
The tavern is
left?
now empty. The tavern is now empty.
Oh, it's fully empty now.
Yeah.
That Mike,
Um,
he was on the record.
Yeah. There was a reason Charlie had him leave.
Understandable. All right. I suppose I can lay out the plans I've been thinking up in the past few days on the way back here.
I helped.
will say, where's the last member?
Ulysses, he went
Oh,
upstairs.
not Ulysses. The small one.
Oh,
Those with
uh,
the mouse.
she is safe, and she kind of like picks her hat up just a small bit, not to where you can see her, and then puts it back down.
All right.
While you're not a stranger to transformations, you've definitely never heard of anyone transforming into a mouse.
That's all
Don't
right.
be jealous.
I'm not. I'm just a little. Never mind.
Sure, you
all
look
right.
like you got halfway through the transformation.
Believe me, I've heard that before.
Can
Well,
Silas, when they start kind of stuttering about it, is going to poke her head out from underneath Ambrosia's hat and just like look at them.
And Brandon's gonna wave. Hi, Silas.
She kind of lifts a paw.
They are so small. They are smaller than they were before. I did not know
Clearly.
that was possible.
clearly. All right. So, you have been collecting a little bit of information, clearly, Miss Blackwell. If you don't mind, let me know, what have you come up with so far?
All right. Does anyone here have a map of Saltcliffe?
Do I have a map of Saltcliffe, or would I?
No, not on you. Mostly because you have the place memorized.
Oh wait, I have a map of everywhere. It would
Yeah,
be on
but it-
Reaper.
It wouldn't be a city map. It wouldn't have
Fair
any
enough.
details of the city.
Oh, I don't need one. I haven't well, I live here, so the layout's sort of memorized.
Yes, it is hard to draw on a map of the brain, though. She'll look over to Charlie and go, excuse me, sir, do you have a map of Saltcliffe, perhaps? One specifically that I could draw on.
He kind of thinks to himself, "No, I don't really own a map. I could get you probably some parchment and a pencil."
That'll be good enough.
You could draw it out, Joe.
If you have a large parchment, yes, that would be good, and
Rough.
perhaps Trill could
Yeah.
draw the
Yes.
memorization.
I have a quill. She'll be all right with that.
Right. I'll get a piece of parchment then, and he'll disappear behind the back for like a minute or two before he comes back with this large sheet of parchment that he's holding in both of his hands to kind of make sure it doesn't wrinkle or anything, and he will walk over and set it down in front of you all. And he goes, "I'll be in the back if you need anything. Laura will be out here if you need more drinks or something to eat."
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Charlie will then go back and disappear into the back.
All right. What sort of
Virgil.
stuff do you need to know in terms of location?
Ambrosia's going to take out her inkwell and pop the cap off it and hand a quill to Trill and go, I need to know exactly where the mayor's estate is, where the church is, and where the town center of town is relative to each other.
And
Well,
preferably
more than likely you've seen the church. It wasn't exactly hard to find. I
Yes, but-
basically make a sort of circular design with a little bit of an outline for where the sea is because of the port.
Yes.
And then draw a relatively precise map of the city walls, and then I just sort of make a little circle where the church is. And
Yeah, so outlined on this map, you can see that Trill has now designed for you what looks to be the two halves of the city, the top half and the lower half. The city is carved into the side of the cliffs down to the ocean level where the port is. That seems to be the collection of where most of the housing is, where most of the people live, as well as the gate leading out of the city that leads you to the dungeons that were built a few years ago. On the upper half of the city, you see the church is marked out, the barracks for the Armada is marked out, Salt Cliff, and then about a little ways separated from the rest of the town proper, on this gated trail, surrounded in its own set of walls, is the representative manor. It seems to be further than you would expect for a representative manor to be from its town, but taking into account privacy and self-perceived higher stature, you can assume that they don't want to be near the rest of the town.
It's outside the city walls, you said?
It's in the city walls, but it's it's separated from the rest of the building. Like, it has its own path going up to it that is accounted for with the outer wall of the city. It just, on top of that, has its own brick wall surrounding the estate.
Alright, so at the moment we are on the first level. Most church activity is going to be taking place here.
Besides Judgment Square, which is on the second level.
Of course. Besides, well, Judgment/Executioner Square, depending on what you want to call it. And Representative Manor, as you can see, is a little bit separated, and it's surrounded by a wall within a wall. So, infiltration will be a little difficult.
I believe we don't even have to set foot inside the manor itself. Do you know, Trill, you've been here obviously much longer than us. Do you know the exact situations in which the mayor leaves the manor to speak to the public?
Yeah, he only comes out when there is a particular amount of civil unrest and the church needs him to play figurehead, or when he's leaving the city.
Well, if you want to start a riot, that might be a way to get him out of his premises. He only ever really comes out when he needs the church to stop something, or if he wants to leave.
Okay, I believe our best plan of action, since we do not know his schedule and when he is going to leave this city, I believe our best course of action is to cause some civil unrest amongst the people here, perhaps spread rumors of the church and bring the people to our side. He will come, make his speech, and while on the way back to his estate, we will ambush him. I have spells that can make sure that he will not make a sound, and neither will his guards. Then we take him prisoner, bring him back here, perhaps, or somewhere secretive, perhaps if there's any abandoned buildings, anything like that. We could.
Dear, we have a bloody tunnel.
Yes,
take it down there.
The tunnel is not big enough for interrogation, apparently.
Correct.
Silas said it is big enough for one person. We need a room. Somewhere we can tie him up. Yes, exactly. Somewhere a bit more private. Once we have him, we will use him for information about the church. Maybe perhaps he's been inside, perhaps he knows the amount and numbers within, or perhaps he even just knows of a easy access route. Then
If you want to find a place to house him that will be sympathetic, look for sun lilies. More than likely, if you find a house with a sun lily, you'll be able to find someone sympathetic.
do you know of any houses words with Sun Lilies on the way to his manor? Somewhere.
Would I?
There's no one on the top level of the city that is sympathetic, at least. The church would never let anyone they believe to be loyal to the government on the same layer as them.
Not on this level, unfortunately. We would need to be a little bit closer to the port and the Judgment Square in order to find someone to house him.
Okay,
Once
so
we were on this level,
now is when I want to mention that I have locate plants and animals.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But
I don't know.
it's painted sunlays, right? Or is it
Oh, right,
planted
right,
sunlays?
right. It would be planted sun lilies.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Yeah, so that'll come in handy.
Near Judgment Square.
Yes.
Have a quicker transportation instead of back to
perhaps.
Perhaps somewhere just outside Judgment Square, away from prying eyes. But we have to
Well-
act quick. We have to be quick and efficient about it. We can't let his guard get away, or worse, him.
And perhaps after we secure a deal to bring him to the specific Sun Lily house, we just bring up the Sun Lilies and make it look like they've never voiced support anyway, so that they would not, at least with their initial search, look at that house.
That is a good idea. Yes. Let's make sure not to bring down the wrath of the church on a family that does not deserve it.
Good point. Another thing to consider. He never travels alone, but you already likely knew that. You know how you saw Jace Deswall a little earlier today with about 10 guardsmen? Usually the mayor travels with 5. So
5 is
we would need
doable.
to-
We
5
can
is
do-
doable, yes.
We can do
You
5.
can take. We can take them down if need be. I'm rather good if people are close to them, or if
I
they
can
get to the
create. I can
shadows.
create a radius around the entire group that makes it to where no sound can travel for about 20 feet. So, all spellcasters will have to be on the outside of that, but the close range fighters, it'll be quick and easy.
no one is in the bar, correct? It's empty, other than the group, and like Charlie. Silas is gonna, at this point, tired of not being able to talk, is going to kind of skitter out from underneath Ambrosia's hat and drop down to her shoulder, and just kind of like climb down, or try to.
Ambrosia will kind of scoop you up with one hand and put you on the table, and then probably see that you want to go even further down and help you on the floor so you can change back.
Yeah, and then Silas is going to turn back. I can do that, right? Yeah. And she's kind of, she looks slightly irritated, but not really. And she'll kind of look at you guys and clasp her hands in front of herself and go, I can find the sun lilies. And I have something that could protect us if we need it, Ambrosia.
It would be a great idea to have you track the sun lilies, and what is it that you can use to protect us?
My dad showed me it when I was little. It makes you just extra sneaky. I used it to hide from him when I would take things, so.
That is great. That can keep us in the shadows before our attack.
That might be useful. Now, there is another thing to consider. The civil unrest is a good idea. I like it. Maybe we could spread rumors and everything like that. However, I'm not entirely sure that will be enough to get the mayor to leave. The reason I say this is because we are dealing with an organization that has made the mayor of the town their puppet. I don't want to lose him. That would be the civil unrest that we would be able to create would need to be enough to prompt a reaction, not a violent intervention.
So no burning of houses.
No burning of houses, but perhaps a peaceful protest. I led quite a few of those in my younger years.
We could do it in Justice Square. It seems like
Judgment Square?
Judgment. Thank you.
A classic. I like it.
Sounds like a plan to me. We would, she's gonna look over at Laura and go, excuse me, miss, do you mind, coming over here? I would like to discuss something with you.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you need? And she'll go up to the table.
Silas is gonna hide behind Ambrosia.
Ambrosia is going to pull out a sheet of paper and place the ink and quill next to it and go, I hate to ask this, but could you put down some names of people who would help in a peaceful protest? People who are more than likely to help.
Hey, I can't write the names down for you, but I can tell you the names. If that list were to ever be taken from you, you understand.
Yes, of course, I understand. I will try to remember them as best I can.
Right. And she thinks to herself for a moment as she canonically pulls out her DM notes. You will need to, well, there's, Hugo. I mean, he lives down in the residential area. He would probably know the most people. But I'm sure anyone with the flower would be a willing participant. But Hugo's the one you want to talk to organize it.
Did
Charlie and I can also reach out to some of the other citizens.
That would be amazing, yes. I would appreciate the assistance.
What about Yara?
Yara? I mean, I'm not entirely sure what Yara would be able to do. She has to keep cover.
Good point. Well, maybe she would be the one to convince the guards to maybe not make it a violent intervention. If she knew it was coming.
Right.
That is smart, yes.
I can speak to her and see what she can do.
Yeah, maybe.
Though you know how testy the guardsmen are, especially.
Of course, but she's a god.
and-
Of course, but she's a god as well. Maybe she'll be able to talk them down.
She is one of the high-ranking members. That will come in handy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Alright. For the second part of our plan, we know that there are a lot of guards in the city, a lot of hired mercenaries with this abyssal rune attached to their armor that makes their hits a lot heavier, so we don't really want to deal with them. I suggest after we capture Lightkeeper, we get as much information out of him as we can, and then we institute a more violent reaction from the church. Not putting anyone in danger, but we need to separate the guards from the church itself so we can infiltrate it. Perhaps then we burn buildings, we cause riots, something, but we make sure the citizens are away from the scenes of these burnings and riots before the guards get together. And once the guards are separated and confused amongst the city, we as a group attack the church, take down the head, and take down Deswall. After this, I believe the mercs will fall in line.
There is another thing to consider here. We can't just take down the people. We need to show the city how fucked up this organization is. just taking down the figureheads won't be enough. We need to instill a sense in the community, in all the people here, that the church is bad. That way they'll be more likely to accept the change in power if a power vacuum occurs after everything goes down.
Ambrosia is going to smirk and pull out a single sheet of paper from her notes and slide it across the table to Trill. And it is the abyssal rune that is on the inside of all of the merc's armor, and just say, well, a rumor about the church confiding with demons probably would not go down well.
And perhaps, DM,
Yes.
I know about the parentage of my family.
Yes.
Do I know, or have I heard any rumors about what's going on with my mom?
The only thing you know is that she has disappeared in the last 6 months.
Okay, so I wouldn't. Okay, cool.
You also notably are not familiar with the symbol that was just presented.
Yeah. Well, you're going to need to let people know that the symbol is demonic, because I have no idea what that is.
Of course. I'm trying to do some research into it now. It's heavily tied to the abyss, one of the abyssal planes in particular. I'm not quite sure what, but it's not good, whatever it is.
If you have any notes, I might be able to help you with any investigations you might do.
Is there a library in Sutcliffe, someplace where knowledge is kept?
Is
Perhaps I
there?
There is not necessarily a lighthouse in Saltcliffe, no.
Library.
Oh, library. I thought I heard lighthouse. Okay, no. There is no library in Saltcliffe. It's primarily a fishing village.
A little bit out of luck here, unfortunately.
Perhaps. What about shops? Any shops that sell books or would have access to books?
Would I? No?
Potentially the general store, but it's the only business inside besides the Salt Lake.
Unfortunately, the only one that would work for that is Gordon's general store, but Gordon doesn't live there anymore.
Who does?
A jackass.
Understandable. Well, we'll try there, and if anything, we probably head back to Free Market to see if they have any.
By jackass, I mean church pawn. Be careful.
Okay. So perhaps we go in with a cover and see if... that is interesting. We can't, if he's a church pawn, we can't let him know we're researching the abyss. That could set off alarms.
Yes. I'm not exactly the best at talking to people in terms of areas outside my expertise. Perhaps you'd have something on this. Maybe a little bit more knowledge of how to deceive.
I am fairly good on making exchanges and getting what I want, but we'll have to see when we get there. I need to know him before I make any assumptions.
All right. Well, it's the beginnings of a plan. Something.
Ambrosia is going to look at Karryck and go, does that sound good? That sounds like a good plan of action, or perhaps do you have anything that you would think of?
It sounds fine. It's probably, I'm glad Drew's here to put the peaceful protest, because I wouldn't have thought of that in a million years.
Oh yeah, no, I was just wanting civil unrest. I wouldn't have thought of a peaceful protest at all. I forget how encroached this community is with the church.
Yes. About half the city is completely under the thrall of the church. The other half is who we're going to be looking for in terms of gathering the protesters. And most of those people, of course, live in the second district.
Is
And you'll
the...
find...
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you sure? I didn't mean to cut off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna ask, is the barkeep lady, did she walk away? Laura. Or is she still there?
Sorry, I was muted. She walked away.
Silas is going to kind of walk around the back of Ambrosia's chair again and go, I know Hugo, too. Not sure where he is, but, Boofer could probably help.
Oh, is that the dog's name?
Yeah, that's, Boofer. He doesn't really bark. He just kind of... yeah.
May I?
Yeah.
I start scratching him.
Boofer just starts licking your hands.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
What time in the day is it currently?
It is midday, getting closer to later in the evening, or getting close to that evening time.
So maybe we should try and find Hugo and see what we can talk with him about, and then maybe see how many people are out at night guards specifically.
Right. There is one other thing. Jace Deswall is not the leader of the church. You know this, right?
Yes, I had heard there was a bishop in charge. I don't know his name, or her name, or whoever.
His Holy Greatness, Archbishop of Divinity, Donathan Emspiel.
Is that
I'll write
name
that.
familiar to me?
Hugo, I believe, mentioned it to you once when leading you from the city.
Okay.
I put the name.
He probably didn't say the whole speak his entire title like Trill did.
Well, I said it was dripping with acid, but...
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you should.
I didn't do the whole title, just put the main thing you need to know, Donathan Emspiel. If we want to take down the church, we need to take him down. Unfortunately, Jace Deswall is merely a powerful pawn, but a pawn nonetheless. He is replaceable.
Well, we have to take down Deswall, and maybe perhaps that will shake up the mercs enough for us to be able to strike Donathan himself.
Perhaps. But again, we have to be smart about this. Information first, then violence.
Yes, of course. Lightkeeper first. He must be taken down. Without a figurehead, the church, its hand cannot reach as far.
I like you.
Thank you. A lot of people do. Show a wink.
No. I appreciate that you're not taking the route of violence first. Unfortunately, many newcomers who come here like to take the violent route right away. It's not the
As
best
you
way.
guys are having this conversation, you kind of hear a little ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and the door kind of swing open as 4 guardsmen walk into the establishment.
Ambrosia's notes, you see her kind of look like she's reaching for food, but she'll purposely knock her wine onto the notes and soak most. And then go, oh, I'm so clumsy, and then start picking them up and trying to look like she's trying to save them. She puts them in her satchel.
Silas will also help, but she's staying.
They
there.
kind of look to be more relaxed and leisure. Their helmets aren't on. They're like holding them under their arm. Swords aren't drawn. They're kind of setting all their swords and weapons at the next to the door, and Laura is behind the counter, kind of gives them a nod. It's evening, gentlemen. Evening, Laura. Just here to get a drink for the evening. I'm sure you won't mind. And
Really quick, do I see that symbol on their armor?
no,
Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't mention where it was, but it's
And these 4 guards will kind of, as they walk in, they kind of notice you, Trill, and is like, oh, look who it is. Fucking troublemaker, this one.
Oh yes, trouble. Trouble always seems to find me. You found me. Congratulations.
Shut up.
I stick my tongue out at him, just in a playful way.
They flip you off. City would be better without the likes of you in it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
old
Brian
gross.
gives Karryck a look. Like, you want to go kill some stuff, buddy?
And Ambrosia's gonna adjust her hat so the tips of her ears are hidden underneath, and kind of stand and walk to the bar where the guardsmen are at.
Once Karryck's not gonna, she's not.
They are going over to a table, but you can stop them if you'd like.
Yeah, she'll stop them.
Alright.
Wait, they seem to know me. Do I recognize these guards?
I mean, you recognize the faces around town. These are just some fucking, like, assholes.
Yeah. And it's like, I've probably looked them over a couple times. I know where the chinks in their armor are.
Alright, Ambrosia, you get in front of these 4 guards and they're like, what the fuck do you want?
She'll put on her most friendly voice that kind of, it's very sultry. It's meant to act like she's so fragile and innocent. She'll go, oh, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt your drink. I am new here, and I was wondering if you could point me in the direction of the general shop. I seem to have lost some of my supplies. I need them replaced. And she'll, like, lean against the wall a little bit and, like, look kind of helpless and definitely putting on an act.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I was gonna say performance.
Ah, yeah, performance.
Yes!
Since you're doing the whole act.
Motherfucker's almost a natural 20. That's a 4. God damn it.
He kind of looks at you up and down and says, why don't you go ask your fucking hairy friend over there? She probably fucking knows where it is. Leave me alone, I'm off duty.
She kind of just
Kinda
nods and goes,
Pushes past you quite roughly as they all kind of bump into you and past you to go to their table.
She sidesteps the first one and lets him kind of fall a little bit as he was going to push her, but doesn't really move out of the way of the other two and just goes, of course. Have a nice day, gentlemen.
Fucking stinking
She's
people in this town.
she's hidden her ears, so she looks a little more human. But she'll walk back over and sit at the table and go, yes, interesting mottos. And she'll look over, kind of lean in a chair and go, the rune is inside of their armor. It's not visible from the outside. They took precautions on that.
Good to note.
Do you want me to get their armor off?
Not inside the Salt Lake brand.
I'd rather. Look, I understand. But we can't incite that sort of thing inside this establishment. Alright?
Hey, Laura, get me a fucking drink already, would ya?
She's
And,
one bloody person. Give her some time.
she's one bloody person with 2 hands and 1 drink.
You said
Mind your own
left
business.
You said they left their weapons next to the door, correct?
Correct.
Let me just see what kind of spells I have.
Even give him a +1 weapon.
Have we?
Sure,
We've
guys.
been rested since the last encounter.
Yeah, you guys
We
had
rested at like Free Cliff, or before Free Cliff.
just before you got to Free Cliff. This is the same day as when you arrived in Free Cliff.
Which one of them looks like they're like the leader of their small little group? The one that looks like he's talking the most.
The one that spoke to you directly is the one kind of on the side of the table, facing your guys' table. Well, no, with his back to your guys' table. So he's closer, but on the far next to another guy who's closer than he is. So they're kind of sitting at this rectangular table. There's two on either side. There's two closer to you with their backs to you, and he's the one on the right.
She is going to kind of just. Is any one of them looking at us?
The two on the opposite side of the table can see you if they choose to look at you, but they're all kind of like sneering at Lara and grabbing drinks out of her hands.
I'm going to cast suggestion on the one that talked to me directly, and I will simply say, "Be nicer to Laura." And
What's the roll for that?
a 14 Wisdom save.
14 Wisdom save. And do they know if it fails that there was a spell cast on them?
It does not say that, no.
Yeah, if it fails, it does. They don't. Nothing happens, but I think they know. I don't know. I think they know after like the duration.
Do they know if so they won't know even if the spell fails?
Yeah, it doesn't say that they know if the spell fails. It's just nothing will happen.
They have to be able to hear your suggestion, right?
Yeah, but she just said, "Be nicer to Laura."
And he kind of turns around and is, "Why just mind your own fucking business?
It's
We
not
fucking
good.
run these streets. Leave us the fuck alone. We're off duty trying to get a drink."
It's really kind of common sense not to be rude to somebody who handles your foods and drinks. I've run into plenty of people who've spit in guards' foods, guards' drinks. Some of them have even pissed in them. It's just
Yeah, and
common
I've
sense.
killed people for less. Mind
Oh.
your own tongue.
All right.
I don't know where you're from, Ambrosia, but unfortunately, they don't give a shit.
One more word out of one of you, and I have to take you down to the fucking dungeon myself. As he kind of takes a swig from his tankard. Laura, what is this slog? It tastes like piss. She kind of like, well, it's what you paid for. You didn't exactly pay for the full palate experience. That's just the fish ale. He's like, I didn't ask for the fish ale. He slams it on the table and it knocks over and spills over. Get me something that's fucking drinkable. She's kind of like, well, you need to pay for the drink. It's like, I'm not paying for schlog. You gotta get me the fucking drink or I'll take you down to the dungeon myself. Fucking bloody sympathizes. She's like, she grumbles and heads into the back.
Ambrosia's just trying to get her attention and go, excuse me, miss, I actually need something real quick.
What can I get you while I'm back here?
She's going to hand the bottle of wine over and just says, it's on the house, just give it to them.
It's okay, you can keep it. We have more. They don't.
I
They're
won't
not.
be needing it for the rest of the night, trust me.
They're not exactly complicated people.
They don't really have good taste, is what you're saying. And she kind of chuckles to herself.
Yes. Keep your wine, dear. As she heads into the back. It's like you're making our order take longer. Just God, fucking you people.
Bran looks to Karryck. Yes, Karryck. I want to bash all of their skulls, and there's no way you treat a woman who serves you. My mother would have those men hanged by their balls by now.
Are you saying that like super loud?
He's gonna place a hand on Brand's shoulder and just whisper.
He like takes a deep breath and he closes his eyes. He goes, "Okay, I'm punching them in my mind."
I'm rolling a perception to see if they heard, or I'm checking their passive perception to see if they heard what you said. And one of them kind of pipes up and is like, "Oi, what'd you just fucking say there, mate?"
Are you talking to me?
Bran doesn't respond. He's punching them in his mind.
You in the fucking purple. The shitty tattoos. Got something you want to say to the whole room?
Bran's eyes open. Okay, I'm done punching them. I'm going to punch them for real now.
And he kind of walks over to this bare carpet in the middle of the room. And he kind of looks at his mate. You hear what this one said? He said his mom's gonna hang us by our balls.
I need all of them to roll charisma saving throws. I'm casting Calm
Charisma
Emotions.
Calm emotion. Oh boy. DC 14, you said?
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least he called us people this
One
time.
saved. 2 saved. 1 failed. 3 saved.
Okay, so the one that was approaching us, he is neutral to us now. And it doesn't say that they notice that the spell was cast.
If they save.
Yeah, if they save, they don't notice the spell was cast.
Isn't it after the thing end, don't they suddenly get angry?
Yeah, if they're hostile towards us, so we might want to leave. But for now, he's calm.
Karryck's gonna say, let's just go.
Yeah, and Bro's just go, we've got the meeting. And she'll stand and take the bottle of wine and leave. And she'll just wave at the person who was yelling at us and go, ta-da, or toodaloo.
He's like, not worth my fucking time, and goes sit back down while these mates are like, the fuck do you mean it's not worth your time? Hey!
And then Ambrosia
Who
will
said
leave.
you could leave? You just insulted the town guard as you're leaving as Ambrosia, you leave the building. Anyone following her?
I'm trying to, but I cannot drag my token.
Karryck's gonna be the last. He's gonna let us out.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Bran and Karryck would both let everyone leave the room, as they Bran and Karryck just kind of stand there and just stare them down as they.
What you fucking looking at, ugly?
Karryck's just gonna
What?
spit on the floor and walk out after them.
Your mum fucking orc?
Did you say that to Bran?
Yeah.
He kind of stops in his tracks and just
Oh,
I'm gonna roll a d2.
Oh no.
Not in the salt lick, please. Ambrosia's waiting right outside with her umbrella. Not in the salt lick.
I told when I made Bran, I said if anyone messes with his mom, he's gonna kill them, or at least be angry.
Can you make a charisma 14 saving throw?
Bro's just gonna waste all their spells on just trying to.
Well, no, it lasts a minute, so.
Bran just takes a deep breath and just says, just as he leaves, he turns in mimicking Ambrosia. Toodaloo. He just continues following out the door.
That's what I fucking thought. Fucking orc fuckers. He sits back down at this table.
Once Bran gets out of the building and the door closes behind him, he says, if we ever to see those guards again, I'm going to punch every single one of them.
Oh, you'll see them again. I guarantee it.
I was specifically waiting for them outside. And she's like holding her umbrella ready to cast a spell. I just did not want conflict in the salt lick.
They would have followed. They would have died.
Anyways, To Hugo's then, I suppose.
To Hugo's.
I didn't give Boofer. Oh, there's Boofer's token.
Just curious, how long are we doing the session?
Oh, what time is it? We've got about.
We're an hour and a half almost.
Yeah, so we'll probably just go average 4 hours.
Yep.
So we're trying to. Did Hugo ever point out where he lived to me when he was describing the town?
No, he did not.
But
Okay.
I would probably know where he lives.
You probably
Yeah,
know
you
where
would
he
probably.
is. Yeah.
You know what part of town he lives.
All right, let's go to Hugo's. Might be a good idea to get a little bit of a rest there too, and also calm ourselves down. They're going to
Brand's
do.
like punching the air right now.
Brand's like,
Brand, is it? I put a hand on his shoulder. You know they're doing that on purpose, right? They want to set you off. They want you to fight them.
I think
No matter what they say, the minute you throw the first punch, you're the villain.
Mm-hmm. You have to understand. Their whole deal is to make people like us into animals. You throw a punch to them, that's all you'll be in the eyes of the populace who sympathizes. It means we need to, unfortunately, take our licks, go along with it, and plot our revenge. Don't worry, it's coming. But caution, you need to be smart, not hard. Can you do that?
We're walking and talking, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was saying a minute has probably passed. And we probably hear the guard like yelling. Yeah.
Those goddamn motherfucking animals!
Yep, see? Just like that.
You just hear crashing in the tavern
Oh no.
as you guys are walking away.
I'll have to pay for that. Oh gods.
All
right.
I'll write a check if need be.
Alright, you can do that. I keep forgetting.
Trill.
Hmm?
Does Hugo like wine?
Silas is going to giggle at this point and look up at Ambrosia and go, "He was a pirate. They love alcohol, silly."
This will be a good offering then. And she kind of gestures towards the bottle of wine that's probably still almost full.
Look,
Yes.
quite frankly, we're all going to need a drink after that.
You're in
Choice.
luck. And Silas is obviously cheering up a little bit now that she's getting to go see Hugo again. That's someone that she obviously relates to a little bit. And she's on Boofer at this point and kind of running up ahead a little bit. Dragon Turtle usually had some pretty good people on it, and Hugo helped me get out. So he's got to be good company, right?
Have I ever really interacted with Hugo?
Probably not regularly, but he's a usual, positive figure.
He's a jovial fellow. I think we'll be fine.
Maybe some cynical humor, but
Oh, he's just my type then.
all right. So, leading them through the way, all through town, you kind of come to the second half, passing Judgment Square. That same macabre and solemn feeling that fills the square. Piles of ash blowing in the coastal wind.
I distract them from the morbid stuff by pointing out any alleys.
Silas notices it though, because she's been here before, and she will notably get a little bit closer to the group.
Yeah, and so tucking back in together, you kind of make it past a few of the guards. They kind of all giving you shifty looks and glares, but mostly just leaving you be. You make it down to the residential area near the back wall of the city, face on the cliffside. That's where Hugo's house is. However, you see that it looks to be that his lights are off inside his home. It's kind of getting dark, but you know that Hugo works long hours as a dockhand.
Well, he might still be at the docks. I forgot how long he works.
Oh, heck yeah, we're going back.
Ambrosia will give one knock, like take her umbrella and knock on the door once, just to see if he's not just without lights on.
You don't hear anything after a minute or so.
Either we wait here for him to return, or we go find him at the docks then.
Oh, and Silas is perking up again. I know where they are. That's where I started, actually.
Lead the way.
That works
All right.
for me.
Silas leading the way triumphantly, you make your way to the docks, which is usually the largest part of the city next to the church. Various trade ships are docked here, while various amounts of dockhands of all creeds are, going back and forth from the ship, kind of finishing up the last bit of supplies loading and unloading. And looking around, I need you to make me a perception check to find Hugo.
All right.
All
This
of
is
us,
my-
or just Silas and
Trill,
Trill?
Silas and Trill.
Can I get Boofer to help me? He would know. He
Can
would
I-
know.
Can I
You go
cast
get him.
guidance on Trill?
Sure.
Yeah. Ambrosia
First-
walks. Ambrosia
First roll
walks
of the
up and-
campaign.
I'll just roll straight at perception.
Ambrosia comes up next to Trill and rests a hand on your shoulder, and suddenly your eyes pupillate more, and you can see better.
It was almost a 19.
What'd you guys roll?
Can I roll with advantage again? Or not again, but I didn't roll with advantage. I rolled with straight perception.
I rolled an 18. Gonna go guidance. 21.
Damn.
All right. So, Silas, you're kind of distracted by all the dock workers looking for people who are walking up onto and off the ships, kind of in a misguided understanding of his job. Whereas Trill kind of sees him standing overlooking a few of the dockhands. You see this halfling with one of his arms from the about elbow down is got what looks to be some sort of harness on it, some sort of attachment, where half of his hand in this glove-shaped mechanism is mechanical, or loosely mechanical. It doesn't look like it would anything super complex. Someone's breathing into their mic.
That was probably me, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It's bumped.
And so he's kind of like 3 of his fingers are metallic and wood. As you see this grizzled old halfling with short salt and pepper hair, and nicely trimmed curly mustache. All right, you fucking scallywags, you need to finish this last load before you can go home.
Got enough time for a couple other scallywags.
Trill, is that you?
It is indeed. Good to see you, dear.
And he kind of comes up to you and reaches up with his good hand and clasps your hand and shakes it. Good to see you, lass.
Good to see you as well. You
The rest of
probably
you-
recognize
rest-
that one.
looking
The one on the
at Francie,
dog?
he looks at you and Boofer and he's like, "What are you doing back in here?"
I can explain. I.
All that effort to get you out, and you just
I
run
know.
back in here.
I know.
Couldn't keep you out, huh?
I said I wanted to help, and I meant it.
Aye, the misguided sense of justice.
Well, I think we've got a little bit more on the cause. And I turn towards everyone else.
Oh, I see you've made friends.
I know, strange thing, but it happens every once in a while.
Yep. Well, once these lads finish this last load, I'm, off the clock.
Perfect. It's good to
If
hear.
you wanna, feel free to help him carry the box, this last few boxes onto the ship if you wanna speed things up.
Silas, actually rather excited to be around ships again, is just going to book it with Boofer to go help.
Okay. Going to these boxes, Silas, you kind of are noticing that, like, 2 of these guys are carrying 1 box at a time because these crates are larger than you are.
Brandon Karryck might be the ones who could help a little bit best with that.
Can I still go on the ship?
I mean... it's not my ship. You got 5 seconds. Go.
And she goes.
Ambrosia will put a hand up and just say, manual labor is not quite my strong suit, so I will take a seat over here and find a place to sit down.
And he'll kind of wave his 3 all of his fingers. You notice the mechanical 3 can't move, don't seem to move independently. He's kind of like, it's not my strong suit either.
I want to mention that this is now. Is there a crow's nest on this ship?
Yes, there is.
Silas is up there.
Don't. Why are you climbing up the? Oh, Lass, it's not my ship.
I'm not gonna hurt anything. I know what I'm doing.
It's not about knowing what you're doing.
Shh, I can almost see.
It's not about whether you can, it's whether or not you should.
Can I see any of the islands from here at all?
No, it is,
Sad.
that is far away.
Silas doesn't understand that though.
Yeah.
Ambrosia's gonna wave down Trill and just be like, just let her have her fun. It's been a while since I've seen her this happy.
I know. I'm having a little bit of fun too.
And Hugo looks over to Brandon Karryck. You got some spare time?
Karryck's just gonna shrug and just pointing towards where they need to go. And he's gonna grab a couple of the barrels.
So there's 3 large boxes and like 2 barrels, and you want to take one of the barrels?
I'll take. How big are the boxes? Could I fucking just stack them and carry them both?
It would be very, very difficult to carry them both at the same time.
Okay.
What if I were to cast Enhance ability on him?
Oh boy.
Maybe.
Oh!
Yeah, I'll... Fuck it, we're about to
Yeah,
rest.
let's
I'll cast
do it.
Enhance
My
ability on
ranking
you.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. You have bull strength now, so your target has advantage and his or her carrying capacity doubles, so...
Oh,
Extra
okay.
strong,
Alright.
yeah.
Make a strength check with advantage there, Karryck.
Alright, let me look at my carrying capacity in general. It is 270, so I can carry, 540 pounds.
Holy shit. So yeah, make this check with advantage.
Strength check with advantage.
Ambrosia sees you trying to pick up both boxes and struggling, and she's gonna walk up and just like touch your back and just go, lift with your legs, and suddenly you just feel the surge of
I
strength.
literally rolled only a 13.
Really? With advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 9 and a 6.
Oh my god.
Easily enough, you're able, with a little bit of problems in the balance department, heft up these 2 boxes with this newfangled strength you were given. And you start carrying these 2 large boxes, and, these 3 dockhands that were doing this lifting are kind of like staring at you, mouth agape, like, what kind of bullshittery is this?
Like, this guy a while
It's
ago.
literally bullshittery.
As you walk past them, carrying these 2 boxes, they kind of like point at Hugo and like look at the point at Karen, and Hugo's like, "Don't give me that." He's a fucking Dre, big a lot than you are. You're just jealous.
Yeah, so I carry him to go.
Alright, and so one of the dockhands kind of takes you to the cargo hold and drop the crates off and come back.
Yeah.
No, like, you wouldn't mind, and 2 of the crewmen, they grab a barrel each, and they're hefting it, and so there's a barrel and a crate left.
Ambrosia
Brand
will-
steps up.
Carrying the barrel and the crate. You just saw Karryck double fucking box it.
I don't
Yeah,
have any more
Br-
enhanced abilities.
Brand is gonna try and do a barrel and a crate.
Okay, stacking the barrel on the crate, make me a strength check.
Oh boy.
I'm tempted if I
Can I-
want to rage.
Can I cast guidance on Brand?
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
you can.
It's gonna get rid of the enhance ability on Karryck, but
It's okay.
I can't cast enhance ability again, so I'm gonna cast guidance on Brand.
Karryck's double.
You just flat strength.
Just flat
Yes,
strength.
just flat strength.
Come on.
Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
I don't know which one it's using.
Oh, you got.
Did it use the lower one?
I only see one.
Oh, it rolled both for some reason.
Oh.
It
Just
rolled.
reroll. Just reroll 1 dice.
Yeah, I use a 12 or 14.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you are able to, with very little difficulty, carry these 2 with your natural strength.
Brand gives a grin to Karryck.
Ambrosia is gonna walk back to Hugo and just say, "I told you, manual labor is not my strong suit, but I can help others get there."
Hi.
I didn't even add the guidance. Whoops. There.
Actually, it subtracts 1. Just kidding.
No, it adds one. It adds one.
I know.
Ambrosia actually cast Bane on me.
Oh no.
Whoops.
Sorry. Goodness.
Silas has come down at this point, by the way, and she's like walking back off of the ship onto the docks.
Yeah.
Alright. Walking back onto the docks, now that all of this cargo is loaded, Hugo kind of, "Alright, lads, get your arses home." And they're kind of like, "Yes!" And they all take off.
Captain,
Alright.
can Brandon Karryck come over and play? Can they go over and lift heavy stuff with us?
Want some heavy stuff?
Ambrosia is gonna turn to Hugo and say, "All right, now that you're off the clock, do you mind if we accompanied you back to your home? We have something to discuss."
Right, yeah. Not sure it'll fit everyone, but it'll be a tight squeeze. And he'll lead you all the way back to the home where you came from, and he kind of opens the door and holds it open for the rest of you. And as you enter this home, you can see everything is sized for a halfling. Halfling-sized furniture,
Silas
in the
feels
middle
right
of
at
the
home.
room. There's a small table in the center with like a single chair where you assume he probably will eat his meals in the morning. Very little like counter space in this area, and there's the only other thing in this room is a flight of stairs that goes upstairs.
Ambrosia will produce the wine and say to Hugo, "Thirsty?"
Oh, now you're speaking my language. And he'll take the wine. Right. I'd say have a seat, but you know.
Silas and Silas in like a childlike manner is like gazing around. Obviously, she's pretty content here.
Oh, and Hugo will kind of like start turning on these little oil lanterns on the walls of his house.
And she'll, in very nosy manner, will go, "What's upstairs?"
My room where I sleep.
Oh, right. I could have.
I'm not exactly wealthy character.
Is this better than how the druids live on the island? I imagine it is.
I mean,
Way-
you can't. The way the druids live versus the way he lives is they're not really
It's hard to relate.
Comparable?
Yeah.
because the druids didn't.
Isn't
they
it like
made
tree
their own
houses
houses
and like
tree
built
houses, mud houses.
Yeah.
They were, they're all perfectly content. They can build them as large as they like, but they weren't. You didn't have the same standards for a home.
Oh, okay.
You didn't need oil lantern. There were no oil lanterns. There was no like modern like commodities.
Right. I figured that's what that would be.
How clean is it in here?
It's not clean, but it's tidy.
Okay. Ambrosia will then like lean against a counter so that she's not in the way of everybody. And
You
then-
guys are all kind of cramming in here.
Yeah.
Are like sitting on the floor. It's the only peaceful way they can be there.
Hold on a minute. And he kind of goes to the back of this room, and there on this back wall, he kind of pulls out this ring of keys, and you notice now that there's a keyhole in this wall, and he kind of clicks it, and this back wall has a door that kind of opens up that looks flush with the wall when closed, and you can see it's a little broom closet where he starts he seems to have like 2 normal sized chairs kept. It's like I keep these for guests, and he kind of comes in and like pushes some furniture around and puts the 2 chairs there and closes the broom closet.
That's funny.
That's about all I got.
It's all right.
Terribly sorry to make you do so much, but some important things to talk about.
Right, and these important things would be.
Well, you likely heard a little bit about what happened with Freecliff.
Yes, the acquisition of Freecliff. That was some pretty sour news.
Yes, it was. And that complicates things, but we might have the bones of something, and we might need your help.
Alright, let's hear it. What do you need old Hugo Rummy for?
Ambrosia will set out the notes and explain to him the plan that we discussed in the tavern.
Casting exposition.
Yes, I cast exposition.
Woo! We fast forward in time after the exposition spell was cast. And Hugo's kind of twirling his mustache, thinking, I could have something like that probably organized in about 2 days. Realistically, that's about as quickly as I could probably get it. Most of us folk are working folk, so...
Of course. I think that's reasonable. Would you think that's reasonable?
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable to me.
It would give us a little bit of time to do some more research.
Yes, we need to look for guard patterns around the city, especially where we plan to take Lightkeeper. We don't want any unexpected visitors.
As about taking Lightkeeper, I mean, there's two places you could take him. There's an old, abandoned home, in this residential district. It's, 2 blocks that away, and he points kinda easterly. And the other one, I mean, it's kind of weird. Nobody usually goes there. Everyone kind of avoids the place of superstition.
Well, any option we have is a good one.
Yeah,
Keeper's
right. It's
Station?
it's up, kind of near the awkward in-between place between the upper half of the city and the lower half, kind of almost attached to the city cliff wall. Nobody ever goes there because there's some superstition around it. There was an old old dwarf that lived there years and years and years ago.
Well,
But
people,
he kind of dropped off the face of the earth, and nobody really knows what happened to him.
if people avoid it, that might be better than an abandoned house.
Yeah, I don't
Perhaps
know.
we should-
It just gives me the heebie-jeebies, you know?
We could definitely use that as our advantage.
Whatever keeps us hidden for longer. That's all I care about.
Yes. Perhaps we should check that out in the 2 days we have to wait. Both these locations, see which one works better.
Well, I've never been in there, or been to the home, but, there's a fella named Elijah, who's, he's been there. At least, I've heard he's been there. He said he was gonna go check it out one day, but he never really came to talk to me about it. We never spoke about it. So,
Well, it
You
might not
might-
be a bad, might
to
not be
the
a bad
place-
idea to find him.
The place with the superstition or to the abandoned house?
the place with the superstition. The
Gotcha.
old dwarf's house.
We'll have to seek out Elijah then, maybe get some information.
Have I heard of Elijah?
Yeah, you've heard of Elijah. I mean, you don't know him personally, but he's one of the many dockhands that works in the city.
Do you know where this Elijah frequents?
I mean, sometimes at the Salt Lake, but I doubt he's going to be there tonight. He's probably with his wife and kid at home. They're on the opposite side of the residential area from here.
Good to know.
Gotcha.
Um,
Thank you.
More than likely, we probably shouldn't disturb them tonight.
Wouldn't want
If they're spending time with their,
Yes.
if he's
That-
spending time with his family, I wouldn't want to take him away from that.
It will be probably tomorrow or the day after.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, actually.
You might. He goes to one of these counters and opens a drawer and pulls out this this pretty hefty stack of papers. He licks his thumb and starts flicking through them. And is like, sorry, he might. Let me check that he's on schedule tomorrow.
He gets days off.
Yeah, he gets days off.
No one works every day of the week.
I make sure that everyone at least gets 1 or 2 days off. That's about as much as we can afford, though, before the church starts poking their nose in our business. Looks like he's actually not on the schedule tomorrow. He requested time off, looks like.
So perhaps we would probably find him at his house then, but probably not tonight. I want to
Yes, not
catch
tonight.
more. Question, Hugo. Do you own any of the ships in the dock? Or do you have access to any of them?
Oh, I mean, as the overseer of the docks, the dock ward, I technically have access to on board in any of the ships docked there. But no, I don't own a ship myself. My sailing days are long past me.
I see. I was wondering if maybe a third option would to get Lightkeeper on the boat and take it out into the Gulf for the night.
I mean, some of these ships are just, mercenary bands, trade companies. All of them will work for coin. I mean, you might be able to pay one off, but I don't know.
It
Might
is a
seem
plan C.
suspicious for a ship to take off and come back.
And also,
Insane.
don't forget that many of the mercenary bands work for the church.
This is true.
I mean,
Probably be a trade ship.
the more local ones do, bandits and all that. They might call themselves mercenaries, but just fucking petty criminals.
It'll be a plan C in case neither of the other two locations work out.
Yeah. Aye.
Well,
Oh,
if we don't want to disturb Elijah tonight, we could check out the abandoned house that's in the residential district.
We could, yeah, and probably that would be a better place to sleep in for the night, since Salt Lake might be a little too hot at the moment.
I like your thinking.
We'll get you the gold piece back. It's fine.
Sorry, Karryck.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. So we'll have opportunity to stay there, but
Karryck's just like moping the whole night. Just,
All right,
Right.
thank you. And we'll give you a little bit of time to organize on your end.
Be careful if you go to that other house.
We will. And I pat my crossbow.
do I have time to have a brief?
It just goes
conversation
off.
with him.
If you want to have a conversation with Hugo, you can.
I do. So Silas is gonna hang back as everyone leaves.
As everyone's filing out, you can hang back, and he's kind of sits down and is like, "Yeah, they give you that box."
Yeah, they did.
Right. Did you open it yet?
Yeah.
I figured you would. You look the curious type.
And she's like looking for words, and they're just not coming out.
Well, I can tell you, I've known Sigwell my whole life, and there's no way he knew what was gonna happen, taking them aboard.
I don't. I just. All this time spent alone and on the islands, and it's just been me and my dad. What does she want with me? What is she? I don't understand.
What does who want with you? I know there were. I don't know the details.
The lady that paid them.
Ah. Right.
I don't know anything about her. There's a reason my dad kept us where we were, and he never spoke about it. I don't Wait, do you know where the dragon turtle's going? Maybe I can get there.
As
And
far as I know, Sigwell was going straight back to Turgalta.
Silas just kind of looks defeated a little bit.
I'm not sure they'll be back here at all. I mean, that was the first time I saw Sigwo in 2 years.
Right. Right. Do you know the name at all? I don't know any of the names or what it means. I've
What
never
name?
been. Well. It's the signed just Lady Jean.
A Lady Jean, huh?
Yeah.
It's not familiar to me, but if I was looking for someone I didn't know, I'd intercept a courier or go to a courier's station. And there's postal service in most of the larger cities. There's not really a dedicated postal place here, but they do keep records of what postage goes where. You might get lucky if you maybe. So, I mean, your best bet would probably be Centerholm
Right.
eventually, but that's a long distance from here.
I'll see what we can do here. Thanks. I guess. And
Yeah, and I'm sorry for your loss.
she doesn't say anything. She just walks outside with Boofer.
Boofer just kind of presses up against you and licks your hand.
She'll keep a hand on him as they walk. Where are we going? Where?
We're going to the house.
Yeah, we're going to the
Oh, heck
abandoned
yeah.
house.
We go to house. We sleep in
Alright.
abandoned house.
So, you make your way through the streets. It's now definitely into the night. The sky is dark blue with you can see the stars and the constellations above as you make your way to this old abandoned home. As you are kind of cutting through the residential area, passing by the last kind of few people turning in for the night, you notice the what looks to be this decently humbly sized building with a smashed window, and the front door is boarded shut, and this looks to be like an old decrepit foreclosed upon home.
Welcome to our humble abode, I guess.
Looks illegal.
Can I see if there's anyone inside, or like listen for noises on the inside of it?
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check.
I'll make a perception check as well.
All right.
Nope.
You tried.
That's 25 for me.
Holy
There we go.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Or something?
Inside the building, with your keen sense of hearing, you can you don't hear anyone inside, but you kind of hear like some rat scratching on the walls, or the dripping of water. Sounds empty.
It's not the cleanest of places, but At least there are no other squatters.
Well, that's good enough. I guess through the window? Maybe clear a little bit of the glass?
Wait, is
Are the doors closed?
Yeah, is the door
The
closed?
door is boarded shut. There's
Okay.
Okay.
planks of wood nailed over the front of it.
Does it look like there might be a back door?
No. It looks like it's pretty solidly built into this spot.
I'm
Through the window, then.
not the biggest fan of climbing through windows, but I guess.
You see as Trill is already halfway through the window.
Alright, go ahead and make me just a dex check.
Can I do acrobatics?
Sure.
Cool. That's better.
Hey, Brand, you just want to rip this door down?
What was the roll?
25.
You
With
don't think people will be suspicious if
graceful
the door is
ease,
open?
you dive through the window, missing any broken glass.
And I just sort of like do a gymnast rolls like,
Yeah,
ta-da!
you just tuck it in and somersault and spring up to your feet. Just
Ambrosia will look to Brand and just say, could I get that Bazzer pelt if you still have it?
I have it.
All
I
right.
start clearing any glass that might be around the window.
One of the original
Okay.
one of the better pelts.
Yes, the one from the original badger we killed. Oh, wait,
the giant one.
Yes.
I think I know what you're gonna do, and he's gonna put it on
Yeah, she would.
the window.
Yeah, she'd
Hang it
clear
through.
any broken glass.
Yeah,
and
I know.
throw it
I know
over
what
the
you
side.
mean.
Yeah.
You easily enough. You hang this giant badger pelt over the lip of this window where the broken glass might poke you, and the pelt is definitely thick enough to allow you to easily climb over.
How high up is the window? Is it like hip level or?
Yeah, it's just hip level.
Okay, she'll throw a leg over and climb inside.
Anyone else need help in the window?
Please help me. I am small.
I'll help you and Boofer through the window.
All right, so Karryck, you kind of pick up Silas and help her through the window, and
He's even
Boofer-
going as far as like leaning through to set them down on the other side.
okay, going the extra mile.
Yeah.
Sus.
And then
Sorry.
Boofer
'Cause he was-
holding up like Boofer's back legs, you kind of help him jump up through the window as he kind of lands on the inside himself, shaking himself before.
And then he's gonna jokingly ask Bran, "You need help through the window?" But yeah, he's gonna climb in after.
Is Brand here?
I don't know.
Sure, I'm here.
Yeah, he's just
Okay.
in and out.
Yeah, I said
He's
that,
looking
sorry.
at the sky.
Brand was still
Were you
punching
in-
that guy in his mind.
Were you in airplane mode?
No, Brand had his eyes closed, and he's sorry. I was doing that thing where you close your eyes and you make a light show up here when you poke your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was.
Is he alright?
He's
No,
easily
just
amused.
nod.
As he's got his eyes closed, just squishing on his eyelids.
He knows how to have fun with the simple things.
Alright.
Clearly.
Brand, climb in the window.
Yes, sir. He just goes like walks through the window. Do you have to make an acrobatics check because I'm so large, or no?
Oh goodness.
No, I mean it's difficult for you to squeeze in, but with the help of everyone kind of like pushing you through or pulling
Did
you
it?
through.
Did it catch
kinda-
my T-shirt?
Yeah, your t-shirt's 20.
Let me. I'll
Some
roll a
glass snake.
percentile.
No,
Oh, no.
We cleared out the glass.
Yeah, and Ambrosia went with her umbrella and cleared out the edges.
Your
of
shirt
glass.
is safe.
Oh, thank God.
Nice. Are there?
Yeah. For reference, Trill. Brand is wearing a T-shirt that says "I shopped at Marlowe's." Just
Oh God.
I'm gonna make like one final like look and see if anyone had followed us at all. Like before I climb in the window. If I can-
Right. Make a perception check.
Okay. 12.
whoa, so perceptive.
You don't see any guard presence or anybody that might be following you with suspicious intent.
Alright. And then I'm gonna climb on in.
All right.
Can I look for separate rooms?
Yeah, so in this home, as you climb through the window, you kind of have walked into what is like open floor plan style of architecture. This first floor, because it's got two floors. This first floor is in a wide open space with you see like a counter that kind of separates the two halves. Some old like ruined furniture kind of sits around there, an old musty carpet, fireplace, and then if you go upstairs there's two bedrooms.
Ambergia will look inside the two bedrooms to see which one's the biggest.
The biggest one is about 2 times the size of the other one. Like one seems to be dedicated to like a guest, whereas this is like the master bedroom of the house for the homeowner.
She'll walk back to the stairs and just say, Trill, Silas, I picked out our bedroom for the night.
Oh. All right.
Oh,
And then
can
she'll,
Boofer come?
of course. And then she'll walk back upstairs and show them the
Of
larger of
course
the
you
two
can.
rooms.
Yes, you can. I start screeching him again.
Karryck, you want to go chase rats?
Ah, Silas stops like halfway. I want to go chase rats.
Okay,
For the
let's go.
record, to give you a better idea of the way the Marlowe shirt looks, it's kind of this style of shirt, but embroidered onto it is "I shopped at Marlowe's."
Oh God.
But it's very ripped.
It's super
there's no
super
sleeves.
tight. Like you can yeah, because you tore the sleeves off. It's like very tight. Like you could easily see like all of his muscles through the shirt because of how small it is on him.
Yeah, and
So-
he's like mid-rear. It's almost like a tank top, like a crop top of it.
So, if I am to understand correctly, Brand is himbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We've made this. We made that declaration day one when we met Brand,
Perfect.
and he loves his mama.
As any good himbo should.
A mama's boy. Hell yeah.
All right. And that's where we're going to take a 10-minute break.
All
then
right.
we'll come back and 10, 15-minute break. However
So maybe
long.
like at 30 or 25?
Yeah, let's
You
go
know?
2:30. 2:30 my time, whatever. I don't know. Let's find out. As we close back into the session,
The stair gremlins.
just a brief recap. You ran into some unsavory characters at the tavern while in the midst of making your plan. You then took off to find Hugo Rummy, a retired pirate who had connections throughout the city to help you stage a peaceful protest in the hopes of luring out Representative Lightkeeper. Giving you the location of 2 potential abandoned buildings, you head to the least superstitious of the 2 to make bed for the night and to stake it out as in to see its potential in holding a hostage, that hostage being Jeremiah Lightkeeper. So, are you all bedding down for the night?
Karryck is. How many rooms are in this place?
There's 2 rooms.
2 rooms in the upstairs.
The larger room Ambrosia has claimed for herself, Trill, and Silas.
Okay. I am going to.
Sleep on the couch, Karryck.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. So there's 2 rooms and there's a main room, or is there just a room and then a room?
So there's 2 rooms. So up the stairs, there's 2 rooms.
Oh, and then there's like a downstairs.
And then the downstairs is where you guys are at. Well, where some of you are at.
All right. Karryck's gonna step out, like literally climb back out the window and talk to his friend.
Oh.
Brandon's gonna set up camp in the living room.
Oh, in the living room.
Yeah, just so in case someone breaks
Wait,
in,
is it-
Brand's the first one to get him.
Karryck will be like to Bran. He'll be like, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go for a smoke.
Yeah, gonna go for a smoke.
Gotta go take a piss.
Gotta go take a piss.
I can't
Silas
talk right now. I'm
is
making
looking around.
Yes.
Oh my
So
god.
what if you could see? God fucking damn it. Right.
My beams.
So, Karryck, you step outside, and you stepping around a corner. You going anywhere, like in an alleyway, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like distance enough that my voice won't carry through the busted window.
All right. Go ahead and just make me a stealth check, just to
Good thing.
like see how quiet you are.
Good thing I can roll with disadvantage.
I'm not gonna give you disadvantage because this isn't about how quietly you can move.
Okay, well then I got an 18.
All right, yeah. Definitely, you know that you are speaking quietly enough that even if someone were to pass by in the streets, they probably wouldn't hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Karryck's gonna take out the ornate bottle in his pack,
All right.
and he's going to like shake it because that's the relation.
Okay.
That's the relation. He's gonna just be like, "Wake the fuck up."
You hear a voice in your head. Oh, here, hold on. Wait a minute.
Wake
To
up,
keep-
samurai.
To save face.
They're gonna disappear.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't wanna.
Don't want to spoil that whole thing. Right. So you kind of hear this voice in your head. Oh, what is it now? You're disturbing my very important business, I'll have you know.
Yeah. Well, I think this might be a little bit more important. I got it.
What did you find? You find information?
Yeah. I know exactly whose mother you need me to kill. It's,
Oh, you do.
It's the half orc genasi I've been traveling with the last couple days. Or weeks.
Oh, that is fucked up. Yeah, you're not friends with him, are you?
He not really.
Oh, man, it would have been funnier if you were.
For brevity's sake, Karryck is lying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You don't see, I mean, from traveling with him, you seem to have been quite close with him. I'm surprised. No hesitation, I'm assuming. Our deal is still solid.
Yeah, it's still solid.
Good. I wouldn't want to leave your brother wherever he's ended up.
Karryck's going to. Karryck's also going to say, I found the guy who killed him too.
Oh, you did? This has been quite the fruitful endeavor for you, hasn't it?
Seems like everything's just lining up as if it's meant to happen. Seems too easy.
Oh, I'm back. Soon Caritas will be walking amongst you, huh?
Yeah. I won't have to deal with you anymore.
Well, if it's any consolation, this has been quite profitable for me. Or beneficial, not profitable. I'm still stuck in this fucking bottle, but beneficial in that at least I'll have my revenge. And potentially a way out.
He's just gonna grow silent and just like pensive and just nod and then he's gonna just well, I'll let you get back to whatever business. He's gonna like say it with like some acid behind it, like that whatever it is you call business.
Right, quite. And the voice will disappear.
All right, sweet.
All right.
Swords. And you see it's reversed, and you see it says, and she says, there was once a man in your life that did you very wrong, and in your past that did a great disservice to you and possibly your family.
Oh shit! Of course, I never would have realized. I sort of motioned to everything.
And she kind of laughs and then flips the second, which is a Nine of Cups, which is your present dictates that a wish has come through, and you are seeing your dreams come to fruition.
Well, I would hope so. And I will say, it's not just dreams here. It's goals in the future.
She
Miss-
nods,
Miss
and
Blackwell.
then she flips the last card, which is a Four of Wands, and it's not reversed; it's regular side up. And she says, "And it looks like you are going to have some kind of holiday or trip in the near future. Something
Well.
to break up the monotony."
Well, hopefully after all this is done, I might be able to pal around with people, leave Saltcliffe for a bit. I like the town, but not great memories. Or at least not all of them.
Completely understandable. And you see she puts all the cards up, kind of shuffles them around a bit, and then puts them back in a small deck in her satchel. And there you go. Your fate has been read.
My fate has been read, of course.
As you finish this tarot card reading, Karryck kind of slinks back into the building downstairs.
Yeah, Brandon's probably still down. Right.
Yeah,
You're still
Brand, you would notice Karryck slinking back into the
like
building.
he wasn't
Yeah.
Silas, Silas is there too. They're chasing rats.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Karryck, you're back.
Yeah, I'd smoke.
Can I try and grab one of these rats? I just want one.
Did you talk to rats with like?
I can.
speech of the woods?
I'm actually going to grab a bit of a ration and like hold it out. Like, hey, we're not here to hurt you. We're actually we're friends, and we just want to share the space for a little bit.
The rat looks at you, looks at the food, then looks at you, then looks at the food, then back up at you, and like, I'm not falling for this again, as he runs away.
Ah, damn it. Silas is gonna eat the little bit of food that she had out anyways. It doesn't matter to her.
Brandon's gonna like mope because he had his hands reached out to take the food from you.
Oh.
Brandon, you hungry?
Yes.
He's just gonna toss him a ration.
He like just stuffs his face. just kind of goes and like sits cross-legged on the floor and just kind of eats his rations. And just as he's kind of like done licking his fingers, he's just, I could take first watch if you'd like.
I mean, we're all three down here. We can all take first watch and then wake up the other two.
If you want, it's okay with me.
That works.
Yep.
Right.
Badgers wouldn't ambush us in our own
Badgers,
home, would
come
they?
out of the wall!
They crawled through the walls.
They're like Terminator when they like go through the metal bars.
yeah,
Just
they're
like, no.
Come with
Prepare
me if
to
you want to
die.
live.
Damn badgers. Ulysses, what did you do to all these badgers? Do I need to make a perception check for my watch?
Sure. Whoever wants to.
Can I get Boofer to smell?
Oh, it was almost a 19.
Boofer is, I mean, he sniffs around, but he's not really interested.
Yeah, not really helpful kind of in the house.
He's like, don't give a crap. I'm gonna go sniff the floor.
Nat 20.
Bam,
Boofer
boy.
sniff.
Okay.
Damn, son.
Bam, son, where'd you find this?
Right. So, in the streets over the night, over the course of your watch, Silas, just kind of listening. You can't really see a whole lot because it's very dark, but every so often, about every hour, like at the top of each hour that you're watching, you hear a set of footsteps go past. Kind of, you can hear like the metal boots clanking.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like they stop or slow down or anything.
Right,
It's
they're just making their rounds.
correct.
Silas is gonna look to Karryck and Brand and go, I don't think we should be hiding anyone here. They come back here. If you listen, you can hear them walk.
Yeah.
Do you think we should move upstairs?
Maybe. I just think maybe we should tell Ambrosia and Trail when they wake up.
I'm just saying the reason we're outside of doing this protest, it's not just to draw out the mayor. It's also to concentrate more guards in that area, and maybe this will be this. They can sacrifice this route since it's less populated to put them over towards the protest. That way, this might be clear. We could get lucky, but it's also an idea that we could look for other places as well, just in case.
Right. As long as you guys think it's safe, I do.
And honestly, if we're unseen when we get here, what's the chances they're gonna poke in here anyway?
You said that people, or not you, but someone said they thought this place was haunted, right? Hugo said that?
The other place.
The other place.
Oh, the other place. Well, I'm excited to go there.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Who do you go to wake up?
I think we wake up both of them. That way, since we were the three watching, it's like that way it's not just one person watching.
All right.
When you go and wake up Ambrosia, you see that she's like immaculately cleaned the area she's sleeping in. Like she's, as best as she could, swept the floor and moved all the debris away from where she's placed her sleeping bag.
And in comparison, Trill's a bit of a mess.
Just lay down.
There's a little bit of drool coming out of the mouth. And she's just kind of like curled up in a cocoon.
Right.
Yeah, Karryck will gently shake both of you awake.
God, what time is it?
Your turn to watch.
Already, that is all right.
Alright, that's a thing we do.
She'll get up and fold up her belongings and then head down towards the living room.
He's gonna grab Ambrosia lightly, like just to let her know, like he's gonna say Silas heard footsteps by like every hour by the guards. Well, I guess we all did technically, but
I see. Thank you. No noises.
It's also good to note about housing anyone here. Might not be
Yes.
smart.
I believe not, especially if we wish to interrogate whoever we're housing here.
Oh, good. Maybe the creepy house is the right way to go.
It might be. That superstition might save our lives.
Maybe. Well, let's keep an eye and an ear out. Oh,
Definitely.
God, it's early.
And Ambrosia will head downstairs and kind of set up a small little reading area. She takes out a few books and begins reading.
All right.
Trill takes out her crossbow, just in case.
Okay. Go ahead and one of you can make a perception check and the other can choose to assist.
I'll assist.
Okay, I'll roll perception with advantage then.
Perception. Perceptive can you be?
Dirty 20 for me.
All right. So, similarly to what Karryck mentioned, about every hour, top of the hour, you hear the sound of metal boots. Clink, clunk, 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 clunk. Outside, walking past the building, through the neighborhood.
Can I tell how many?
Sounds like just one.
Okay. After the top of an hour passes and we hear the boots go by a good distance, Ambrosia will close a book and turn to Trill and just say, "You have a lot of animosity towards my last name."
It's
Today-
not animosity, but you should know a little bit of what I did around here. I took out a list. And it's a list of names. You would probably recognize quite a few of them as names of wealthy families.
She'll look through them and see which ones she recognizes.
Duh. You recognize, of course, Blackwell, Winemeyer, Lightkeeper. Most of the other ones are just, the names of either owners of big businesses or politicians in Centerholm.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you one name, just for the fun of it. One of the big business owners is the name Scholmeyer. And a couple of them have been crossed out. A couple of them have been circled. Blackmeyer's one of the circled ones. Blackwell's one of the circled ones.
Blackmire.
Yeah, Blackwell.
Wow, they've combined!
You will also notice Scholmeyer has been crossed out. I have never been that big of a fan of families who use their wealth to lord over others. And in my spare time, when I can, I like to investigate. It's not much, but if a family needs to be taken down a peg, I'll try to take them down a peg. The names that I've crossed out, interestingly enough, are not those who have given in to corruption. I've crossed them off my list because they don't need to be on the list.
The ones that are circled. They are
The one-
of special interest.
The ones that are circled are the ones that maybe not necessarily special interest, but they're the ones I'm going to look into. I hope you understand when I look at the Blackwells, and I can't help but want to dig.
I completely understand. They're not really the best of families. I can tell you that much. I am currently working to better our name as much as I can, but I am one person, and it is a big legacy.
Perhaps not now. Perhaps after we deal with the church business, but maybe we'll have to have a bit of a longer conversation.
Definitely. Do not get me wrong, Trell. I am not a fan of the Blackwells either, but I know the weight of their name, and I will use that to my advantage if need be.
Smart. I like it. Honestly, when I was looking into the Scholmeyers, they're a bloody fascinating family. Another port town, they're a fishing business.
Do I recognize the name Scholmeyer at all?
You might have seen it once or twice, but it's not really super, and it's not a very notable business as compared
Yeah,
to
I mean,
it. They don't. You might have heard of them, but they're not one of those names that sticks out as competition for the Blackwells.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
probably, if she ever saw it on a list, she probably paid it no mind.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Honestly, they're actually, from what I've heard, relatively philanthropic. Kind of nice, actually. Even if the matriarch might be a vampire? Might want to explore that.
A vampire.
Apparently a nice vampire. I don't know.
What is the name of the matriarch?
I believe the name is Rivka. Rivka Scholmeyer.
Rivka Scholmeyer. Interesting. We'll definitely have to.
I'm doing this, by the way, because one of my PCs, that one of my characters, is a Dampier named Orvin Scholmeyer.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of a fun little reference.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
good.
It is all good.
Yeah,
I can like send you a list of some names later down the line, and we could flesh
Sure.
them out.
Yeah. Yes, perhaps a conversation more in depth is due, but definitely after this business is dealt with.
After this business, I've been working at this one for a little too long, and I need to see it through.
Yes. After this is done, I'll give you as many details as you need. I have looked into the Blackwells, probably much to my father's dismay, and I know a few of their dirty secrets.
Oh, this conversation is going to be very fun, isn't it?
And it's about this time you
Definitely.
hear the clink, 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 and the shifting of plate mail.
Yeah, Ambrosia will go quiet again and lean against the wall to not make any noise.
All right. No, we lost the DM.
Uh-oh. DM's gone.
Rip.
I guess we can leave. Oh, there we go.
You good?
Don't mind that. I accidentally clicked on a completely different thing. Teleported me to another plane of existence for a minute there.
Goodness.
Right.
The realm of purses.
Yeah, I went to the realm of fucking curses. Oh god. Alright, so the rest of your watch passes uneventfully, and sooner or later the sun begins to crest over the horizon and greets the two of you in this first room with its warmth through the broken window.
Ambrosia will go upstairs and wake the others. She'll give a knock on Bran and Karryck's room and then go over to Silas and wake her up.
Silas was curled up next to Boofer, in a way that seems pretty natural to the two of them. It seemed like they have been doing it since forever. And she just kind of groans and rubs at her eyes and is like, "What?"
It's time to wake up, dear. The sun has risen. We have work to do.
Oh no! And she roll back over.
Can I make a stealth check?
Sure.
just to do something funny. Let's see here. Nope, I'm not very stealthy.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 11.
What were you trying to do?
What I was trying to do was sneak up and just like sort of playfully grab Silas by the shoulders.
So as you're doing this, Boofer kind of peeks an eye open to you, and as you're sneaking up to Silas, he kind of flicks his tail, and you trip over it and stumble forwards a little bit, bumping into the wall and causing Silas to stir and see that Trill is has stumbled into the wall next to you.
Ambrosia will lean down and kind of brush the hair out of Silas's face and go, "Come on, we have to wake up. I know sleep is very nice, but we do have work to do, dear."
Silas just kind of, with one last groan, will start to get up.
Ambrosia smiles and then goes back over and knocks once more on Bran and Karryck's door and just goes, "Wake up! It is bright and early. We gotta head out."
Karryck's been up, just cleaning his weapons. But then he like snaps out of his like trance and gets up and kicks Brand awake lightly.
Brand's been awake and he's just like he's he's like upside down, hanging off, like he's just in the most uncomfortable position with like his hips on his bed, but his back is hanging off of it, and he's just kind of like
No.
like he's just looking at his feet. I'm awake.
I don't
I'm
know.
awake. And I can use my athlete's feet to stand up with 5 feet of movement.
Oh, yeah,
Jesus
cool.
Christ.
Brand kicks over and like is vertically on his head, and then just like flips into like his standing position and just gets up.
Yeah.
and just one last little RP thing. I look at Boofer. I sort of give him a faux scowl.
He kind
I'll
of just
get you
like
one day, and I scritch him.
he just kind of just pants at you. Oof.
I'll get you. And I walk out.
All right. All right. So you all collect yourselves and walk downstairs into the that open room. You can kind of hear there's a. Is it like just the break of dawn? There's not a lot of people currently out on the streets.
Karryck's gonna say, make sure we are not walking out of this as soon as that guard passes.
Be sneaky.
Yes, we'll,
Okay.
we'll wait for him to pass and then wait 10 or so minutes and then leave. We should probably leave separately as well, not to create a lot of noise.
Makes sense.
I might help getting out. The door is kind of, and I'm a little.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, of course. Yeah.
All right.
After
So you kind of sit there quietly, and after about 20 minutes pass, you hear the shuk, 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 shuk of the footsteps as he walks past, and another 10 minutes go by, and Karryck, you climb out of the window, pick up Silas, and pull them out with you, and then Poofer jumps through the window and lets himself out.
yeah.
And then shortly after that, Ambrosia climbs through with Trill, and the two of them kind of help pull Brand through the window again. And eventually, you've all collected down the road a little bit away from the house.
Ambrosia's gonna dust herself off and go, alright, to this Elijah's.
To Elijah's.
Alrighty. And shall wait for, I guess, Trill to lead the way.
I would probably know where Elijah lives, right?
You know where the side of town that Hugo described is.
Okay.
You know where he
So-
was what he was talking about. You don't know exactly where Elijah lives specifically, but you know that side of town.
Okay. Well, I'm not able to get exactly specifics, but once we get to that side of town, I think we'll be able to find it. Let's give it a shot.
All right, and it takes you about 5 minutes to get to the opposite side of this residential area. It's not a very large town. As you do, you should all. I'll have you all make a perception check.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
I don't see nothing.
Never mind, I don't need it because I just got a natural 20.
3.
Oh! Whoa! Good!
Well, let
All
me see
right.
let me see if I can get a 30. Let me see if I can get a 30.
30, 30. No.
Nah, it's a
27.
27. Nah, that's so
All right.
low.
So, as you
Useless
are all
deep
looking
core.
around, there's dock workers leaving, heading to town, or not to town, but to the docks to start their days. You're kind of watching as people are leaving their homes, and then one thing that you catch, Ambrosia, that nobody else really noticed is you see this human man. He kind of steps out onto his front porch. Doesn't look like he's really dressed for work, but he kind of takes a look around, takes in a deep breath, full air, walks down the steps of his porch, and checks these flowers he's got. You can kind of see there's sun lilies planted in front of his home. As he tends to these for a minute, he then picks himself back up and heads back into his house.
Before he heads into his house, but after he's done tending to the garden, Ambrosia will kind of signal to the others to follow and approach and try to get his attention and go, sir, if you have a minute, and I'd like to speak with you.
Oh, well, hello there. There's a
Um,
lot of you.
yes.
Do I know you?
Not exactly, but we know
Do-
Hugo.
Do I know this person?
You recognize this as Elijah Marsh.
Oh, Ambrosia, this is Elijah.
Ambrosia will nod and hold the hand out. Or no, she'll do a curtsy and say, "I am Ambrosia. I assume you are Elijah."
Oh, yep, I'm Elijah Marsh. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you as well. If you don't mind, do you mind if we came inside and had a chat? We have some questions.
And he kind of looks around outside and is like, choose two of you.
All right. Ambrosia will turn at the rest and go, Trill, you come with me.
All right, I can work with that.
Don't need too many suspicious characters coming into my house for the church to label me a sympathizer.
No, I completely understand, sir. Just it
Of course.
won't take much of your time at all.
He kind of like nods and gives another nervous glance around outside before pulling the two of you in, and he kind of peeks his hand out to the rest of them. The rest of you act natural. Take a loop around the block and come back.
Silas is gonna look to Brandon Karryck and go, "Can we go back to the docks? Or should we stay?"
Brand shrugs and just, sure.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Karrick's gonna
docks.
call before they go inside. We're gonna be at the docks.
Alrighty,
I
have
quick
fun.
thumbs up.
All right.
Alright. So as he pulls the two of you inside, he's like, right. So, what are your questions?
We'd heard from Mr. Hugo that you have been near or even inside that abandoned house that's in between the upper district and the lower one, the one that has all these superstitions.
The dwarven one, if I recall.
Superstitious house up in between. Not sure I quite recall. I'm not sure
Can I make an insight check to see if he wants coin?
Sure.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll an insight check too, and due to my ear for deceit, the lowest I can roll on this, because I'm trying to see if he's lying,
Mm-hmm.
the lowest I can roll is a 14.
Okay, so Ambrosia, go ahead and roll.
Yeah, I got a 12.
So both of
I
you,
rolled a 21.
yeah, both of you. It's quite clear he's genuinely confused.
Okay. She'll kind of pull out the map that Trill had drawn up and kind of point to the area where Hugo said it was and go, "You don't remember any house that was supposedly haunted or no one really went near around this area?"
Kind of scratches the side of his head. Yeah, no, I really kind of weird. Yeah, no, I don't. I have no memory of going into any abandoned property. There's the abandoned property on the opposite side of the residential district, but I don't remember
Yes.
no dwarvish property further uptown that I've been to, at least.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Perhaps it's not just superstition. Perhaps people have gone there and they just don't remember it.
Well, shit.
I feel like I would remember something like that.
Yes.
Do you remember talking to Hugo about wanting to explore abandoned buildings in the past?
I mean, me and Hugo, we had a conversation once upon a time working on the docks about the abandoned property down on the other side of the residential district. and it'd be kind of cool to poke your nose around there, see if the family left anything behind. But I don't remember talking about no dwarvish property.
Hmm.
Odd, because Hugo told us you were going to look for it. You were curious about it. That does
I am a
That does tell
curious
us.
feller, but
that does tell
again,
us something
I
about
I
it.
really don't know about no dwarvish property.
Well, honestly, you've actually given us a good bit of information from that.
Yes, it seems that you were still a bit of help. I apologize for taking time out of your day, but I thank you for seeing us and allowing us to ask these questions. Do you have anything else you'd want to know about Trill?
Well, it might do you well to know. Keep an eye out the next couple of days. You might be hearing from Hugo about something not related to your work on the docks. Be receptive. Listen to what he has to say. You might be interested.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Good. Hope you and your family are doing well.
Yeah, thank you. I'll let you
And
out, and
of course,
When
I
he
am, of course, still looking for mine, but you know how it is.
when he gets up to shut the door, Ambrosia's gonna leave 2 gold pieces on the table.
he kind of like is staring like a gawk at the 2 gold. Oh my! Thank you. Oh my!
Of course. Thank you.
Oh,
And she'll walk out.
he's kind of like shaking as the door is closing. Like, oh my god!
That is, in my opinion, Trill, that is the face that every worker should have after completing a long day's work.
Well, you're
That is,
right, but that's more than most people see in a month.
well, now he's got enough to keep himself happy. And she'll just begin walking towards the docks.
I just sort of like stand there, just 1,000 yards staring for a second before I catch up with her.
Right. So I mean, the interaction not having taken you long, you kind of catch up to the rest of them right as they're making it to the docks. Silas is chasing a seagull while Brand and Karryck are kind of watching.
In
Brand is cheering for Silas. Like, go! Go! Go!
Ambrosia will approach Karryck and in Draconic tell him that the Dwarven house doesn't seem to just be suspicious, it seems to also affect memory.
Carrick's gonna nod. So
What
is
what
that
language is that?
is that off the land then?
Draconic. Something I picked up in my books over the years.
Interesting.
Oh,
Well, honestly, well, were you telling him about what we found out?
Yes, I was informing him about the potential side effects of going to that house.
Draconic is just faster.
Can I hear them from where I am?
you're chasing a
Not particularly, no. But if you want to
Okay.
go back up to the rest of them,
Yeah. Silas is gonna, I'm assuming, having failed in capturing the seagull, is going to walk back out of breath and just kind of go, "Oh, I know that one too!" And we'll say, "Wait, so what are we talking about?" And Draconic as well, because she knows Draconic.
In common, Ambrosio will say, I was simply telling Karryck that exploring the
Carrick's
Dwarven
gonna put a
house.
finger up before and then like not just say not in public because we are in public.
She'll nod and go. what we're planning to do today will be a smaller team job. When we go to the shop, she kind of winks, it should only be a few of us.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see what the hell she's getting at.
Ambrosia?
Are you talking about the house?
Yeah, Karryck had
Okay.
said not in public, so she wanted to put it
Okay.
in a phrase that was, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, yes.
We'll need a small team to go in. I suggest me, Trill, and Karryck.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll be the only one who probably forgets anything. If it is that. Alright.
Well, that's
Is Brand with us as well?
Yeah, Brand's literally right there.
Come here. I was cheering on Silas.
Ambrosia will turn to Brand and say, when we visit the shop, I would like it if you and Silas could stay nearby, just in case the sale goes bad. And she kind of gives a wink.
What like the food you purchase is rotten?
She'll sigh and go, never mind. Just, we're going inside somewhere. Stay outside, please.
Okay.
Thank you."
Silas, we have time.
We do? Can I catch another one?
Brand gives gives a nod.
And off she goes.
oh, God.
We should send Dr. Ulysses in.
Jesus. Oh my god.
You don't know what she's saying, is Silas.
He's immune because he's already in amnesia.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Oh, God.
Ambrosia will turn to Karryck and Trill, and kind of out of earshot from the other two, just say, I don't want them accompanying us because I don't want them to risk too much. I trust you two.
They are the greatest minds in our party. We can't lose them as Brandon and Silas
Exactly.
chase a seagull around.
Life is like a
Exactly.
hurricane.
You don't know what she's saying, but you hear Silas cursing in Druidic as she runs by. Or not Druidic, the other one. What's it, the
Sylvan.
Fey language?
Primordial?
Yeah.
Sylvan.
Do I know Primordial?
Jesus.
Wait, I didn't check that, did I?
Oh,
I'm
no.
pretty sure you know Primordial.
I think only me and Brand know Primordial.
Brand knows
Yeah.
Primordial.
Oh, Primordial. Okay,
I
yeah,
can't
you don't know
speak primordial though. I only
I
somehow
know
understand.
Common,
Yeah, that's
Draconic, Halfling, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Okay, so you're just
Sylvan.
yelling in Sylvan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvan.
Fucking persecuted.
Karryck, you'll be the one to do the heavy hits. If we encounter something, I can probably try and dispel whatever is causing these effects, and Trill, you'll be useful to make sure our path is clear when we go in. Make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Best.
She'll nod and turn to the other two and go, all right, we're heading out, you two. Follow us. Let's all go.
Silas.
Brand chases down Silas, picks them up, and puts them on his shoulders. Says, "Come on, we're going."
Silas just kind of is laughing the whole time and immediately gets with the program and like tries to pick up some sort of position on his shoulder.
Oh, God.
He's kind of just got you like you're you're like face down on his shoulder, like you're almost prone on his shoulder. You're not
He's, like,
sitting on it. He's just
squirming
kind
a
of got you
little
like
bit to get
slung
comfortable.
over your shoulder.
Like a bag
A
of
bag of
potatoes.
rocks.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, goodness. Ambrosia will start heading towards where Hugo said the house was.
All right.
All right. So, heading towards the cliff face, Trill can fairly easily point you in the proper direction. There is only one building built onto this wall. And Trill, it's kind of weird. You think this would stick out more, like, in the general populace, like people would be talking about it more while it sits here. But as you look at it, you're like, it's weirdly familiar and unfamiliar to you. The building is made out of a combination of the stone wall of the cliff and also the typical wood built, like the rest of the houses in the ship.
So here's what I'm gonna do. On the map that I made, I am actually going to very clearly mark where the building is.
Okay.
Mostly so because Trill is sort of suspicious now. If she forgets, there's a marking on the map of a building here.
All right. And what are you labeling this?
This is sort of
Spooky fucking house.
the forget me building.
Forget me building. All right.
If I don't remember this location, we were here.
When they approach, Ambrosio is going to cast Detect Magic.
Also, Silas,
As you go to cast
not sure you
detect
ever put
magic
your-
on this building, you kind of feel the spell almost as if it's being pulled from your fingertip. I disconnected, didn't I? Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
So as you are going to cast the spell, you kind of feel it suddenly get pulled from your fingertips. And nothing happens.
Do I lose a spell slot?
No.
Okay. Ambrosio is going to back away enough to where the house is just within 30 feet and try and cast it again.
Same familiar sensation. Pulled from your fingertips before you can finish casting it.
Can I
Karryck.
see if I know anything about this kind of nullification of magic? Have I ever seen anything like this before or read anything about this before?
You've heard of anti-magic fields before? These kind of places where anything magical that goes into them is no longer magical, and you can't cast magic in there. Any spell that's cast is immediately destroyed, like deleted. However, this is almost as if it's being pulled from you and taken. So you're not entirely certain whether this is the same.
I've got some interesting news, mostly bad. I am going to be useless in there if things go south.
Maybe.
I cannot cast magic.
Oh,
Maybe.
well, that's frightening.
How am I? Do I feel any different?
Surprisingly, no, you don't feel any different.
I look in the bag and see if the bottle, like I just like peek in, like our like more subtle, like just open a flap and peek in and see if that's still like, I don't know, I can't.
Yeah, it seems unchanged.
Okay, I guess I don't have like magic vision, but yeah. Are Brand's tattoos glowing any less, or are they still just as like?
They're still just as vibrant as ever.
Okay. All right. Maybe.
Perhaps we should all go in then.
We might all have to.
Yeah.
Safety in numbers.
Definitely. Does it look like there's a door? Like, is it a door like boarded up?
There is
or-
a front door. It is not boarded up.
Okay.
Ambrosio will-
I sort of hold a hand up really quickly. I move up towards the door, and I check for two things.
Okay.
Is it locked and is it trapped?
Go ahead and make me an investigation.
I have expertise in investigation.
Ooh.
21.
It is not trapped and it is unlocked.
Well, that's foreboding.
I would knock first. Be cordial at the very least, if there is somebody home.
I'm not entirely sure this is a good idea, but a knock.
All right. You knock on the door and you don't hear anything from the inside.
I believe I heard something. I think it's silence.
Well,
I'm
time to
opening
break it, I suppose.
I'm opening the door. I open the door. What do I see?
You see what looks to be a neatly well kept entry room. There's a coat rack. There is a little side table for you to put things down on. There is a rug in the middle of this entry floor, embroidered with a fun image.
What is the image? I'll
Trill,
take it.
are you peeking in now?
Yeah, Ambrosius
Yeah,
approached
I've
him.
been peeking.
So both of you would see the likeness of a gold dragon embroidered onto this this big carpet.
Do I recognize this imagery?
You would recognize this as a typical dwarvish iconography of Duranor.
Ambrosia kind of immediately smiles and says, I believe we are safe here. And she'll try and move past Trill and into the area.
All right, you enter into the home.
How do you know it's safe? What do you mean?
This is good ground. And she'll take her hat off and hang it on the coat rack and then do the same with her umbrella.
Karryck's gonna follow. Does it have any dwarven writing on it?
There's no dwarven writing on it. There's like a collection of magical runes that are typical with dwarvish culture, but nothing that stands out that says something.
Okay. Damn it.
This, my friends, is the home of a follower of Doranir. This is the home of a fellow child of my faith.
Oh, that's interesting. Duranor.
There is more than likely a reason for all of these magic shenanigans. And she's going to look around and see if there's any other doors that lead to anywhere or anything else in the room that stands out.
Silence is gonna walk into.
There is a single door past this entry hall.
Ambrosia will kind of speak out loud and go, hello, is anyone home? I am a fellow follower of Duranir.
Duranor.
Or Duranor, if, I've got some questions, if you don't mind. And she'll kind of approach the door and give a polite knock.
You do not hear anything from the other side.
She'll try the door.
Door is unlocked and opens. And as you open this door, you see what looks to be a kind of living area, or like a center room mixed with like a study. There's a desk at the far side of this room. There's bookshelves lining the walls, and in the center of the room is kind of divided by more bookshelves, and There's another door on the far end of this room, but at this desk at the furthest end, you see what looks to be a figure sitting in a chair, facing away with their back to you.
Silas or Ambrosia is absolutely ecstatic the minute she sees all these bookshelves with all these books. She's walking in and doing like twirls, like trying to look at all the spines and see what's what at like all at once, taking it all in. And then she sees the person that's probably in the desk by the chair, and she'll go, "Oh, excuse me, I do not mean to be rude, but I was wondering, who are you?" And she'll like and turn the chair.
As you turn the chair, you see the pale, gaunt face of a dwarvish man with a long, white, braided beard and stark white, long hair. And driven into his chest is a longsword.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, he's dead.
Ambrosia backs up and says, "Oh shit."
Karryck's going to
Okay.
step.
My crossbow's loaded.
Yeah, Karryck's got his. Yeah, he's gonna step forward. He doesn't have any weapons out, but he's gonna examine the like the great sword or the long sword.
Yeah.
Can I roll perception on this room, or did someone already do that?
I didn't roll perception, but I was looking around. Can I see how
Wait, Silas,
long
are you in there?
this guy looks dead?
Silas was following Ambrosia.
Sure,
Oh.
make me a medicine check.
So is
Alrighty.
Brandon the only one waiting outside?
No, we all went inside.
Yeah, Ambrosia
They all
said that we
decided
should
to go
all
inside.
They changed
Oh.
their mind.
I'm gonna make a quick perception
So-
check to see if there's anyone following us.
I'm
Okay.
gonna make a perception check on the room.
That's a 13 medicine check for me.
He's been dead for a while.
22.
All right, I'm looking at the sword and seeing
There's
if
no one. There's no one else in
Yeah,
this building
okay.
I'm looking at
besides
the
you.
sword and seeing if there's any.
They
marks
rolled
that I recognize.
14 on the library.
It looked like he's been here a while. Perhaps Elijah came in and
Ooh, 12.
took him by surprise and took his
So close
life.
to being a 19, but
This sword, as you look at it, carries unfamiliar iconography. Do any of you read Infernal?
I believe I do.
You would recognize this writing to be in Infernal, and all it reads is the name Torquet.
Torquet. Does that name ring any bells?
It would actually be quite familiar to you, as that is the name of the devil infernal dragon that is supposedly responsible for inflicting Dranor with the madness curse.
ooh.
Ambrosia puts a hand over her mouth and kind of like tries to hide a gasp, and some kind of tears well up in her eyes, and she goes, "He was murdered by a follower of Torquet. The
Like
one
me-
person who."
Being a Dre, would I know? Like, I know about like most of this stuff since.
Yes. So what you are familiar with is the creator of the dwarves, Dranor, who is said to be the only child of Omeral and Profala that
Mhm,
successfully learned how to replicate creating life.
mhm.
Profala and Omeral typically were the only ones that were able to create life, where they created the proto-humans that were eventually molded into the elves, and then respectively from elves to halflings. Dwarves were created specifically by Dranor as his own pet project.
Yeah, and Carxus is the.
Carxus is the one that learned how to manipulate the weave,
Mhm.
also, which
he
is how
founded-
magic is
And he
created.
founded Evermore, right?
Yes. Dranor founded Thranor. However, in early years of the Dwarvish Empire, not early, I guess 1,000 or so years into the Dwarvish Empire, they were invaded by an infernal dragon from the Nine Hells by the name of Torquet. Him and his legion, he inflicted Dranor with a curse of madness, driving him into the brink of insanity. He couldn't learn anything, he couldn't keep his thoughts straight, and he was lashing out. So the dwarves, 3 dwarf kings, came together, and with the help of followers of Carxes, put Durinor to sleep, seemingly permanently, until they could find some sort of cure for his madness. But in that time, once Durinor was, once he was actually put to sleep, they were invaded from the inside by devils from the Nine Hells. And Torquet himself invaded the dwarvish mountain homes. However, he was supposedly slain by the dwarves through being drowned and turned to stone in the great forge where the many rivers of the world are said to meet underground.
Okay.
Ambrosia is kind of shaking as she was very much hoping to meet another follower of her faith and to see him murdered. It's kind of, especially by a follower of Torquet, it's kind of shaking her.
Karryck's gonna place a hand on her shoulder and just like guide her away so she doesn't have to keep looking at it.
Can I do a medicine check on this body? Just like I know we already did, but like just in case.
Sure.
Or unless you think it's useless and we should just keep going.
It's up to you.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
Karryck may not be proficient in medicine, but he knows a dead body when he sees one.
Alright, go ahead and make a medicine check.
9! He's dead!
He's dead. Ambrosia's going to turn to Karryck and just say, he needs to be properly buried. We can't leave him like that.
I'll remove the sword and you can do that stuff. So he's gonna like carefully try to take the sword out so it doesn't like do any more damage to the guy. And like, at least, yeah, actually he'll just take the sword out and then like, do you want to bury him in the backyard here? Because we can't really be going around in the city with a body.
We'll bury him probably out front. I don't think there is a backyard to this place. But he needs his rights read. I need to read him his rights.
I hate to interrupt, but there is another door. If we want to thoroughly explore this place, we do need to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yes, we should. We should do that.
All right, then we maybe hang back a little bit. I'll take point.
Would I know the proper burial rites for followers of Durinor?
Followers of Durinor don't necessarily have their own burial customs, because they're just dwarvish custom.
Gotcha. Would I know dwarven customs? Are they cremated or are they buried?
It's decided by usually the family of the dwarf who was slain, whether they wish to have him cremated or buried. But typically they are entombed in various funeral burial sites.
Gotcha. She'll look around the room and kind of just say, oh, this might be as much of a tomb as he'll get, but I don't think he would want to have stayed here.
All right.
We'll bury him after. And Ambrosia's just gonna take like a full look around the room at all these books and see if anything stands out.
Most of them are just books about Jericho, the surrounding area, history of, the surround, basically the revolution, pretty much just cataloging everything that's happening around him.
Mm-hmm.
Half these books
Gotcha.
seem to have been written by him, while the others are just, various.
What is his name?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask if there was a name on any of the books that he'd written.
As you going searching a book for his signature, you see one is titled Karryck Shield Coat.
Ambrosia will run her hand across it and just say, "Rest easy. You are with your god now."
Spell that.
THARUHK Shield Coat.
Coat.
All right, I'm gonna check the next door once again. Lock, traps, anything of those lines.
This door is locked.
Is it trapped
However,
though?
no trap. It is locked. However, weirdly enough, there is no keyhole.
Shit.
Could I go over to Thorok's body and kind of as graciously as possible see if he had anything that would unlock this door?
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation.
Alright.
I'll assist.
Yeah, and I'll cast guidance on myself. So. Okay, dirty 20 in total.
All right. So as you're searching through his coat and his clothing, you find he is wearing what looks to be an amulet of Duranor. However, it looks similar to a door knocker.
Alright.
Clever.
She'll gently take it off and bring it over to the door. And does it look like it fits in anywhere, or?
Looking on about the middle of the door, there seems to be a hook.
She'll put it on the hook and then use it as a door knocker.
As you move it onto the hook, this door knocker, it's kind of in the shape of a curled golden dragon, the tail being the part that kind of knocks. It almost immediately melds into this door as if it was never unattached. And you knock it 3 times, and as you do, you kind of hear a click, and the door kind of slowly creaks open.
She'll look to Trill and give a nod and gesture.
All right. Now that I have seen evidence of violence, I open the door slowly with my crossbow in front of me.
Right. As you do, you look into this door. You see what looks to be a bedroom of sorts. There is a bed in the middle of the room, 2 night tables, but the thing that stands out almost immediately is what looks to be another figure slumped up against one of these nightstands, and in his arms is a large book.
Does this one look dead too?
He's not moving.
Can I see if he's breathing from where I am?
Make me a perception check.
I'll make one as well.
Okay,
It's just a separate check.
gotcha.
Good, because I rolled a 9.
11.
He is not breathing.
Shit. Another one.
You might have been the one to kill Thorok and then got trapped in here.
Karryck's gonna walk up to the body and like he's slumped over, so we can't see his face or their face.
Correct.
He's gonna like carefully like lean the body back. Like it. How are they in a like chair or are they?
They're on the ground, slumped up against one of the night tables on either side of this bed.
He's gonna like move it so like they're laying flat, so they could like see examine the face and like what they're wearing.
You see the face of another dwarvish man, this one having a dark gray hair color. Woven into his beard are these kind of different like rings of metal, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
that are all in the iconography of a gold dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Some are inscribed with dwarvish runes, and through down his hair is kind of done the same way, braided, and with all of these metal rings of gold and silver. He's kind of wearing what looks to be various different like fancier clothing than Thorok was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And in his hands, of course, most notably, is a very large book.
I like take the book out of his hands. I assume it's like probably like rigor mortis, just stuck.
Yeah, it's like his arms aren't moving as you're going to pull it from it, but after a little bit more tugging, you kind of hear as you can pull the book away from him.
Yeah, Karryck's going to close the book, or like he's gonna look at the cover.
And the cover has the iconography of a gold dragon.
And he's gonna open it. Is it what language is it in? Okay, he's gonna like have a thumb like where it was opened at, and then close it. Look at the cover, and then open back where the thumb was.
It is blank.
Fuck. He's gonna like flip through other pages like fast.
Ambrosia is going to approach and go.
They are all blank.
He's gonna hand it to Ambrosia and just say it's all blank, unless.
Ambrosia will kind of feel along the cover of it and then flip it open and see if it's.
Ambrosia, written in this book are various unfamiliar magical incantations to you.
What do you mean, Karryck? There's writing right here. This is. She kind of flips through a few pages. This looks like some kind of spell book. It's. None of it makes sense, though. I can't make heads or tails of any of this.
Can I check it?
Oh, yeah. So I'll go look at the book.
As Trill and Silas, you both look at this book, it is completely blank. There's nothing written on these pages.
Just good about
So-
the gaslight Ambrosia.
No.
Or she
Hold on.
gaslight us.
Can
You
Brand read anything?
You can't see anything on the pages, Brand.
I can cast. I have spells though.
So does Silas.
The book is blank.
Damn it!
Only a demon
Um,
of faith can read.
I'm gonna burn the book.
Oh no!
Book's
No.
broken. Better
Just
burn it.
explodes. You will die.
This dwarven person here, they seem to have Duranor stuff on them too, right?
Yeah.
So maybe only worshippers of Duranor can read it?
Maybe.
That's
It
odd.
is magically sealed. There's, I'm telling you, it's. She's like flipping through it, and you see her face is like kind of lighting up as she's just reading a page after the next after the next. This is it's fascinating. I can't make any sense of it. It's unfamiliar to me, but there's so much knowledge in here. This might take me a bit, but I feel like I can crack this.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, and specifically Ambrosia, if you go to look at the front page, you will read that it is titled "The Spell Book of Morgum Brightbrand."
Aw. Just took a dick at the spell book.
Bright band or bright brand?
Right brand.
Brand.
Got it. Thank you.
Morgum, like Morgan, but Morgum.
Morgum.
Yep, that's how I was gonna spell it.
Cool.
She'll kind of close it and kind of hold it for a second, and then look at the body and go, "Thank you, my friend. I will take good care of this." And then she'll kind of. Are his eyes open or have they been closed?
His eyes are closed. It looks like, looking at it, he was behind a locked door and slumped here. You can kind of taking, further look. He looks emaciated,
Yeah.
like
Looks like
he
he
was
wasn't murdered. He was trapped.
he was alive here for quite some time.
I am sorry. Be with him now.
How
And she'll kind of give him a nod.
the bodies look old, like decomposed?
They look old. Looking at it, they're showing signs of having been dead for a while, but at the same time, they're not decayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not exposed to the elements, so they're basically mummified.
I mean,
I'm assuming, anyways.
Lee makes more sense,
Yeah.
but the other guy, he's kind of, I don't know.
All right. Is this the end of it?
I think so.
Well, then let's, I guess, attempt to leave.
Brand, Karryck, do you mind carrying them out so we can bury them?
Oh, we're gonna carry him. I mean, if we have to carry him throughout the town, that's a no.
No, it'll be
I
right
think
outside
we bury them here.
Yes, right outside their homestead. I'm sure that's where they wanted to be buried.
I mean, would we be burying him in the front yard or the backyard? Like, where's there?
I don't think there was a backyard.
Yeah.
No, the house is half built into this wall.
Yeah. Is there even like soft ground outside enough to bury, or is it like hard stone?
It's hard stone.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so
we
perhaps
we can put him on the bed.
let's move them into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Just to
say things.
Yes.
I'd rather not have someone questioning why we're burying two dwarves.
Fair enough.
Ambrosia's gonna look and see if there's any kind of source for whatever is pulling magic from her.
Go ahead and make me an arcana check.
Ooh, finally, something I have expertise in.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Did you do that with your level 4?
No, as a knowledge cleric, I get to choose two like intelligence-based skills to get expertise in.
Oh.
Nerd.
Go read a book, nerd.
Okay, 16 total.
16 total. You are unsure of what's causing it, but whatever it is, you're not sure you could stop it either way.
Gotcha. Once they move the bodies into the bedroom, she'll. Is there anything else in the bedroom that seems noteworthy at all?
Uh, just it looks like there's a book on the other night table. It seems to be just some sort of light reading, and a pair of spectacles on that same opposite side of the bed.
She'll leave those, and then once the other person is brought in and put on the bed, and they leave the bedroom, she'll try and see if she can take the door knocker off the door.
Easily enough, the door knocker will come off of the door.
She'll kind of look at it and be like, well, that is, I think, about as good a tune as they will get. Unfortunately.
That's all right.
You said that there was a fireplace in the front room?
That was in the other house.
Oh, in the other house, gotcha. She'll just satchel the door knocker then.
All right.
All right. Let's get out of here then. And we'll need to talk a little bit about where we're going to enact our plans, because neither seems like a perfect solution.
No, not quite. But perhaps if we do end up forgetting what we did in here, perhaps that could work to our advantage if we bring Lightkeeper here. Perhaps he'll forget the interrogation.
Well, that's well, but then we would forget too.
Not if we take notes.
Good point.
Speaking of which, Ambrosia is going to take her regular notebook out and is going to take note of everything they did in the house and make sure it's all written down.
I tap Ambrosia and point to my notebook where that was already done.
It's good to have two copies.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
So are you all leaving the house?
Let's get
Yes.
out of here.
Yeah, we're leaving the house.
Let's
All
get
right.
the
I
hell
need
off.
all of you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh
Uh-huh.
no!
Good at those. Ooh.
Guys, there's nothing. Come on, buddy. Pull me in.
Hell yeah, 23.
Hell yeah, 3!
Oh,
19.
Oh no.
the two meatheads. Ugh. Karryck, it's okay. We'll just forget everything.
Yeah.
All right.
What happened?
Silas. Oh, you got an 18. All right.
It looks like Silas got a 24.
Can I make a strength
Yes.
saving throw to
Add
fight the
6.
house instead?
All right. So as
I
you all
do a
step
24.
out of the house and close the door behind you, you kind of take a step and turn around and look at it. And as you're all looking at it, you're like, "All right, time to go into the house."
All of us?
All of us?
All of us?
All of you.
Even my
Sweet.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Empress got a 24.
Yeah, Empress got a 24.
Goodness.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Except for me, I remember everything.
Wait, do we still have the bodies?
No,
You
they're
didn't
in the
bring the
bed.
No,
bodies
the-
out. You
the bodies
entombed them
were-
in the bedroom.
That'd be so funny if we had the bodies.
Wait, do you have do we have the knock? Oh shit. Do we?
All you know, Ambrosia, is that you have this book in your arms that you don't recognize.
Brosia's gonna look down and go, "What? I didn't have this a second ago." And she's gonna take it and flip it open and see what's inside of it.
It is titled "The Spell Book of Morgum Brightbrand."
Markham, what? Guys,
I
do you recognize this name, guys? I don't. And she's like pointing it out.
Why are you reading a blank book?
um
What do you mean?
That's
It's
What name?
really odd.
Yeah.
Morgan Brightbrand.
And I go for my notes.
All right.
Do we remember like going up to the building, right?
Your memory has picked up right as you were all kind of agreeing that you were going to go into together.
Okay.
Can we see that the sun is probably in a different position than it was when we entered?
Make an intelligence check.
Like when we were
Alright.
coming over here. Mama needs a new pair of
That's a
shoes.
dirty 20, baby.
You can see that the sky is, whereas it was early morning, it is now about noon.
That's odd. We got here in the morning and it's about lunchtime.
Hold on.
Ember, she's
And-
gonna go for her notebook as well.
All right, and as you both open your notes, you read through the detailed description of finding the two bodies of these dwarves in the building, one murdered with a blade of Torquet, the other having presumably starved to death, trapped in this room with his spellbook, clutching it in his hands. And that wave of emotion, Ambrosia, you felt the first time seeing these bodies hits you again like a rock. As you
She's like clutching the book and starting to shake again as she reads her notes.
Holy
and
shit.
your notes end with the description of having interned them in their bedroom and taking the door knocker with you so the door can no longer be opened.
She finds it in her satchel and kind of looks at it and goes, "At least we entombed them like they would have wanted. No one will disturb their rest now."
Holy shit. Think about this practically.
Yes, yes. This is very interesting. We could, if we use this place as an interrogation room, we could take note of what happens inside, and we could even have people on the outside to make sure that we know we've already gone in, and whoever we brought in, whatever we interrogated them on, they won't remember it
He'll just remember
being
Right.
taken. That's it.
Holy shit.
If we
I
knock him,
think
if we knock him out before we get here, he won't even know where we are.
Yeah. And
And then
holy
we could-
shit, this is perfect.
we can
This-
just honestly leave him here, just and run, leave.
Yeah, or
Silas. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Yeah.
Silas is gonna look around at them and kind of like piecing everything together. It's pretty obvious that we went in there already, we forgot, and now we're back out here and all of that, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what
I
we're
mean, that's
the
what
group
they
is
said.
coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they
We've
said.
explained we've explained the notes
yeah,
that we've
just-
written down.
Clarifying. So Silas is just like, well, we remembered that we needed to go inside. So what if next time we just check our notes before we go in? So that we remember that we have to check our notes before we go inside.
We already know. Wait,
Yeah, yeah. We could make a note to check out our notes before we head inside.
Yes. Perfect.
This works out
Oh.
that we
swimmingly in our favor. Yes.
Uh,
And if we wear masks when we take him out, he won't know it was us at all.
and
This is-
I
We'll have
can
no
take.
idea.
I could use my shadow to take him, and that way it only.
Well, there's going to be guards surrounding him, so
Yeah.
we have to dispatch of the guards, and then
Well,
they might remember our faces, but not if we wear masks.
This is
Maybe not a-
perfect.
I'm not exactly sure if they need death, but if it comes to it, I won't stop you.
Well,
If they're anything like
I
the other
think
dogs
it
inside,
may.
then it wouldn't weigh on my conscience.
Oh, trust me. I think there will need to be death. But this is good. This is really good.
And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Okay, sweet.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Good session.
Nice.